Wait, hold on. Wait. Jesus Christ, hold on. Wait. Okay, hold on. I'm not saying you're a bad person.
No, I'm not think that women are more important than men.
I mean, you're a woman, so you would think that.
No, we can create life.
Not on your own.
We can. I mean, we're getting there.
Who, the male scientists are?
You groom your face to make it look like you have a jawline.
You're not funny, okay? That's great. I like how you sit like this because your legs are supposed to be a substitute for your personality. Yeah, keep laughing, dipshit. Good one. Did you prepare that joke for the whole fucking stream? Yeah, nice. Open that mouth up real big. Looks like you got a lot of practice doing it, you fucking moron. Yeah, good one. Your mom was right at 6.
I'm having a crisis.
Of what? Of being a woman and hating a woman at the same time, or?
No, I feel like I've been in so many like feminist spaces now that I think I'm starting to hate feminists, and I'm starting to do my thing where I'm like questioning everything. This is why I can't stick to any ideology. People pick up people pick up on it constantly. They're like, why can't you stick to one thing? And it's like, once I'm given new information, I add it to the repertoire, right?
Well, as long as you're being as smug as possible about it at all points in time, you're good to go. So
that's exactly what I try to do.
Okay. Is it like, what is the date? Why do you have a pumpkin in the background? Are you gonna carve up a jack-o'-lantern, or?
Well, that's a fake pumpkin, and this is my like autumn setup. Back to the serious conversation, Steven.
Yeah, but your newfound hatred of women, yeah.
It's not a hatred of women. I don't hate women. I think that there's just like a lot of feminism that I like don't agree with, or rad feminism. I think I've watched like or I've read over the past week like a ton of I think the catalyst was when I went on Modern Day Debate, and I was talking with Rachel Wilson, and I realized that I agree with like a lot of what Rachel Wilson was saying, and I was like, okay, a lot of this is like pretty adjacent to like radical feminism, but there's like obviously some key differences. Obviously, she's like very for patriarchy, which I'm not. I don't think that patriarchy is like helpful.
Okay.
But then there were other people who called themselves feminists on the panel, like Polly. Oh my god, I wanted to.
The one that you were transphobic against?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I'd do it again. Just kidding. No, I don't think I was transphobic against her.
Okay.
Do you think I was?
I understood what you were going for, but yeah, optically it looked bad, of course, but I know what you were saying.
Optically, who gives a fuck? Like, I'm just so tired of, especially part of my thing is like, I'm not gonna like, spare male feelings. Sorry. Like, if you don't want to hear that you're a male, I don't give a fuck. Like, you are, and
wait, hold on, wait, Jesus Christ, hold on. Wait.
We don't need to bring it up constantly, but when we make important distinctions like the difference between males and females, absolutely. Like when we talk about the socialization of females growing up, it differing from males, it's absolutely necessary to bring it up.
Okay,
you can't pretend.
Sure. Okay, hold on. I'm here to help you, okay?
Oh,
your husband paid me good money today to coach you through not destroying yourself online, okay? So I'm here to help you, okay? You could just say somebody that might have been socialized as a male would be better than saying men versus women. I think would probably be better when you're talking about a trans person, right?
Sorry, again? What'd you say?
Somebody that's socialized as a male might have different experiences than somebody socialized as a female, rather than saying like man versus woman when you're talking about a trans woman, right?
So socialized implies that it's something that's like being done to you and not the way that like you just like exist in the world. So obviously like giving your kid like a Barbie is like forced socialization, right? But the way that you just grow up the world around you, like women, I remember the first time I got catcalled, I think I was like 6 or 7. Like the first time I realized that my body was like sexual or like in demand, I was very young, right? So you grow up with like this implicit knowledge of knowing that like your body is sort of like a
okay, wait, hold on, listen to me. I'm 33 years old. I do a lot of politics. I know what you're saying. You're not telling me anything new. I'm just trying to
I know.
I'm trying to tell you
I'm just
a
saying,
way that you
I'm
could
just
say
saying,
I'm just trying to tell you a way you could say that idea. That same thing you're saying, you can convey it in a way that is not at all surprising. And it's like, "Oh yeah, of course." Or you could convey it in the most combative, hostile way possible, which is going to get people to fucking hate you.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
So how do I do it less? Well, to some degree, I like riling people up a little bit.
Okay.
Right?
Here's what you have to decide.
I like being a little bit provocative.
When I'm giving you tips and tricks, okay, it's not to.
Oh my god, did you hear that?
That's
I'm dying.
disgusting.
I'm like The Exorcist.
Stop.
Jesus Christ.
Don't do that.
Sorry.
Okay, that's bad for your joints. Okay, and everything. Okay, that's disgusting.
Wait,
Okay.
I'll crack the rest of my body right
Don't
now.
please.
ASMR. Okay. Continue.
Okay. When you are having these conversations, I'm giving you guidelines to make things easier on yourself, okay? If you want to be as provocative as possible, then go for it. But I don't know if you want to deal with, one, the community consequence, like, of people coming at you on social media and shit, and then two, like, the social consequence, like being excluded from certain conversations or panels or social circles because of things you've said. Because your ideas themselves sometimes aren't that controversial, but they're driving in the most aggressively...
I'm a little inflammatory.
Aggressively painted vehicles, okay?
Maybe I'm the first rad femme on Cozy TV. Who knows?
Is that where you have an account over there? Is that where you're streaming next? Why is your camera doing this tracking thing? Okay,
I'm sorry. Well, I'm trying not to distract you with my feminine wilds.
I'm indistractable. I'm plugged in right now to a political conversation. I'm not being distracted. Yeah. You know what's the most distracting thing I'm seeing right now is that fake fucking stupid pumpkin. Okay? Yeah.
I don't care.
Good. Okay. One thing at a time. So, yeah. So for the trans person, you could just say, we're socialized differently. People might be treated differently as a result of that. That's not a very controversial thing, right? Rather than saying, like, you're not a real woman.
You're getting like so riled up. It's like hard to make a logical point.
You're right. I'm the only person riled up here. Not like Polly has been fucking screaming at me, but because I am a biological woman, I'm definitely the one who like. I need to calm down. I need to calm down.
Let's return to the topic.
I didn't do that.
No, you didn't. But that's
no. I think a trans woman can be a real woman. I just think that there's like a.
Sure, I understand. Hold on. Don't argue with me. I'm not arguing with you. I understand your ideas. I'm not disagreeing with your ideas. I'm just talking about the communication. Because what you said in that clip was like, you're treating me like this because I'm the only, what was it? You didn't say real woman. You said something else. I'm the only biological woman on this panel. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Do you not think that Alex sees me and Polly differently?
Possibly.
I don't care.
But imagine. I'm just saying. Hold on.
You're not by treating her like a woman, right?
Imagine if me and imagine
her as different than me.
Can you just? I'm not retarded. I don't know why you're explaining this to me.
So obviously, I'm going to point that out.
That's what I'm trying. That's the part I'm trying to fight you on. Do you know Cherry?
Okay. Yeah, I do.
Let's say that me and Cherry are in an argument, and somebody else steps in and they side with Cherry, and I say you're just siding with her because she's black.
Based.
Is it?
Maybe.
Probably not the way to go, even if it's true. Probably not the way to communicate that idea, right?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Be aware of that, because unless you like the fighting, okay? If that's enjoyable to you.
To some degree, I like a little bit of the fighting, but also I wanted him to notice, and I want people to notice that, like, no matter how much they see, like, trans women as women, even, like, females are still treated very differently.
Sure. That's a fair point. When you said that you like fighting, okay, I like fighting too. But I'd rather fight over the ideas that I'm conveying and the things that I feel are important rather than fighting over what I said, right? I'm guessing it would be fun for you, or it would at least be mentally engaging to fight over whether or not trans women and cis women are treated the same. It's probably not going to be very fun to have endless fights about whether or not you hate trans people.
Yeah, it's not very fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that like Stardust had like clipped me saying like Lav's transphobic moment, and I'm like, ew, what the fuck? Like, that was not transphobic. You agreed with me, bitch. Like,
sure.
What the fuck?
I'm just saying.
But it still was like, it was still a thing, I guess. I don't give a fuck, actually. I don't know.
Stop saying you don't give a fuck. You obviously do care.
Well, no, I care to some degree, but with stuff like that, it's like, I don't know. I care a little bit if there's like a lot of outrage, but if there's like a little outrage, it's like, okay, whatever.
Are you just gonna keep doing the little outrage until something explodes and then you're like reputationally fucked forever? Is that the goal?
I don't think I'd do anything like that. I don't think I'd do anything that would make any explosions.
I mean, if you're trying to be provocative around like the most sensitive,
well, I'm not.
You are.
Oh God, but people are sensitive about that because they're sensitive in general.
Yeah, sure, but but if somebody's sensitive in general, then they just come off as being sensitive. But if they're sensitive around these issues, they're like a fucking hero, right? So you have to be careful. You have to pick your battles where you want to fight over.
That's true. But I don't want to like, God, I hate the idea of virtue signaling. I know that we have to do it a little bit as like people online and like the public sphere. But I just like, I find it like so nauseating to virtue signal and to like play optics. Like, it's not my nature. I obviously have to do it, but it's not in my nature.
Sure, but I mean, like, you always have to do this to some extent. Even in like relationships, you have to placate, or you have to like be.
I don't do it in relationships either.
Really? So when you're on your period, if you're in a bad mood, you just walk around the house and you're like, I fucking hate you. I hope you fucking off yourself. You'll just unload. Absolutely. Whatever. Okay. Well, outside of.
Dude, I did that the other day. Where I like felt super sick because I was ovulating. Shout out ovulation.
Shout out. Nice to not being pregnant. Okay.
And and I was like, don't touch me, don't talk to me.
Okay.
My fiance.
That's a lot different. Like, that's an okay message. I'm just saying that.
Well, no, I say it all the time. I'm like, you're irritating me. He's just like walking around the house. I'm like, stop, get away from me. I think that's like I think that's normal. I don't know.
That can be normal.
Growing up in a Jewish household.
Sure. Okay.
You hate when I say that.
Yeah, because you're using Jewishness the same way that people use like autistic or ADHD. Being Jewish doesn't prohibit you from analyzing and understanding normal human interactions. I don't think.
It might.
I don't think so. Okay, what is your goal with this conversation? What do you want to get out of this?
I don't know. I want to talk more about, because I feel like you're not bought into the whole like sex work is bad thing.
Obviously not.
And I want to talk about that because I don't know how you're so smart and you're like, you think it's like a net good for society. Like, I don't get it.
Okay. There's a lot of different ways that we can go with this. Do you want to have that conversation? Do you want to jump into that one?
I mean, yeah, you're the boss.
Oh, well, if I'm the boss, then we should talk about how you can phrase things and not be needlessly provocative to every fucking person on the internet so that you have fights all the time over dumb shit.
I get it. You tell me this every time.
Well, every time I see you, you're in trouble for a new thing, okay? You're like a young...
Am I in trouble right now?
Destiny.
Did you see my... Well,
okay.
People are very mad at my last tweet, which I thought was hilarious.
Well,
I thought it was so funny. The N-word tweet. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was so funny.
It was okay, but like you're joking around like the.
It wasn't like an actual take. I mean, I think there's some truth to it, right?
Okay.
But it's not like my take, right?
Sure, but it's Twitter. That's how just like Twitter. People are gonna human are gonna human on Twitter, right?
Sure, exactly. No, but people were very mad at me for that, and I was just like, whatever. And then people now are saying that I'm racist, and I'm just like, whatever. I guess I don't care. Okay. I feel like if you stay, I don't know. I feel like I have I've been online for so many years now that I feel like if you know me, you know that I'm not racist.
Yeah, but most people don't know you. Have you ever heard of like first impressions?
Yeah, I'm actually notorious for making really bad first impressions.
Okay, well, what if somebody's first impression of you was that tweet?
Yeah, not great.
Okay.
Maybe you shouldn't have retweeted it.
I mean, I thought it was funny, and I had a good tweet response to it, so.
Yeah. I thought my did I tweet it today or yesterday? I had another good one that was in response to that that you didn't retweet, so interesting.
I'm so sorry. I didn't know I was on like a schedule of like if I don't retweet you once
yeah,
a day.
you
Okay,
you are.
my bad on that. I'm so sorry to hurt your feelings that way.
No, but it was funnier.
Mm-hmm. Are you acting really entitled because you're Jewish or a woman here? I'm just trying to figure out what excuse they're going with for that.
Actually.
Okay.
I think it's like I think they're married.
Gotcha.
I think my identity being Jewish and woman is pretty.
Wow, that's so intersectional, dude. Nice job.
I know. Someone said people kept saying like exterminate women, and I love to Jew bait. It's like my favorite thing.
Okay.
Where I'm like, actually this has weight because I'm Jewish, and then people are like like white people get like really like nervous about stuff like that. Because you can be misogynist, but you can't be anti-Semitic. When people are like abolish women,
like if someone's like we need to exterminate Lav, you have to switch
like
shields.
Women.
You take off the woman hat and you're like, well, I'm
and
Jewish.
I put on the Jew hat.
You're like, you want to exterminate all women? Do you want to exterminate Jewish women too? Because
exactly.
You go. Gotcha.
I love to Jew bait. It's so fun.
Nice.
It's so fun.
It sounds awesome because you use it as an excuse too. So it's just like an all-purpose shield.
It's like a shield.
Escape
Yeah.
all criticism and
Exactly. And I'm also indigenous, so I can use that one when it applies.
Indigenous.
Yeah.
To what?
What do you mean? The Americas.
What percentage?
25%. Indigenous American. Mexican.
25% indigenous. What was the chief's name? You look like you could be called like.
Well, it's Mexican.
Looks like sun. Is that you're okay? Maybe they had some. Okay.
Well, I'm also Irish, so.
Oh, so like cancels out. Okay, cool.
If you saw a photo of my mom, you would see that she just copy and pasted herself. I don't look like my dad at all, but my dad is brown.
Do you speak any Spanish?
No, I didn't grow up around my dad or his side of the family, but his side of the family doesn't speak English.
Can you speak Hebrew?
I used to be able to speak a little bit, but I quit Hebrew school. My parents never made me finish anything I started.
What indigenous tribe was your family historically a part of?
My grandma was Blackfoot, but
Wait, you're not making shit up, right?
No.
Blackfoot? Wasn't that one of the characters on Land Before Time?
I think that's Littlefoot.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, Blackfoot is definitely. It's
Blackfoot
like
that was his urban cousin. Okay.
But my dad is.
Okay, people in chat are saying it's legit. I'm sorry, it is real. My bad. I don't know the names of all the tribes. I was just testing her.
You're
okay,
getting canceled for
I was testing her. I didn't know if it was real or not.
You're getting canceled for that. But no, that's like very little. But it's I think they're like my family's from like a Chihuahua. Like they're just, but so obviously because you can be like mestizo Mexican.
Yeah, I know all
there's
about
like
that. My
white
good friend
Mexican.
Nick Fuente and Castizo and all that shit. Yeah, I've heard.
Yeah, conquistador. Yeah. So there's like white Mexican and then there's like indigenous Mexican. So I'm half Mexican, but I'm only a quarter indigenous Mexican.
Gotcha. Jesus.
Which is like brown.
That's a lot. I'm just gonna stick with the Jewish thing. Okay.
I could get free college in California.
Really?
Yeah.
Why don't you go to school then? Wouldn't that be part of your like feminist arc?
I'm too pretty to go to school.
Man, you love that patriarchy. Man, you really, man, some ways you love that patriarchy. Eh? Okay.
Well, no,
that's cool. Listen, hey, if you're trying to make some money, I know a guy that'll give you 100K apparently. We chatted from earlier, so.
So this is, oh Jesus, honestly, wait. No, so this is my problem. This is my problem with, also the beard trim looks good, by the way.
Shut the fuck up.
But this is my problem with feminism, I think, or rad feminism, is I disagree with the masculinization of women.
Disagree with masculinization of women. Okay, taking notes. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I would call myself a cultural feminist.
Okay.
So I really believe that there are I believe that there are inherent feminine qualities that females hold, whether it be like nature or nurture, like the way that we're socialized or the way that whatever. And I think that those are more like conducive to a society that like I want to live in, right?
To have like inherent feminine qualities?
Yeah, like empathy, patience, stuff like that. Things that we're like, colloquially are known as like feminine traits.
Okay.
Or like that side of the brain, right? Like we know that women are more likely to, whatever. What I do believe in is though like democracy, obviously.
Okay. Is that a
like
male thing or a female
equality?
Thing? Okay.
No, that's separate. I'm taking you along my line of thinking.
Okay.
I obviously believe that we should. I think that part of the problem and why I call myself a feminist is because I believe that like traditionally feminine roles are like really devalued in today's society. And I think that's really gross.
Okay.
I think that we should that's my problem with guys like on like Fresh and Fit, right? Mm-hmm. People who are like women are like nothing. Like their jobs aren't as important, their jobs or whatever. Like that's the problem. And I think that they've just swung too far. But I believe in like a world where, a man can still provide for the family and a woman can be just as valued for what she does at home, or even a man can stay at home and child rear and a woman can do what she wants. I don't believe in like the necessity of a gender role, right? But I think that women are probably just more inclined to want to child rear. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. And I actually think that's really beautiful because I think that we're showcasing our best selves when we're doing things that we're best suited to. And I think that this like push with like this like new feminism to like masculine, to make women masculine, like Megan Thee Stallion just came out with a song that's like it sounds identical to like a rap song that like a guy's made, but it's like about men, and it's like, dick doesn't run me, you're useless, all you are is dick to me. And the first time I watched that, I was like, hell yeah, this is dope. Like, fuck men, right? And then I watched it the second time and I was like, should we be teaching should we just be creating divides? Like, this feels like actually like an overcorrection. And then I was like, why did the first time I heard that though, I was like, hell yeah, I hate men. And then the more I listened to it, I was just like, because I don't hate men. I really value like masculine qualities in men. I don't value like the alpha male. I think that's disgusting. I think that's stupid.
Is that why we don't get along? Because I'm such an alpha male?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
keep going.
You're definitely alpha.
I know.
But yeah, I think that there's and this is getting into spirituality, and so I hope I don't bore you to death, but I do believe in like a divine feminine and a divine masculine. I don't believe that they're sexed inherently, but I believe that they do have to meet each other in order to have like a productive relationship with anything, within yourself, within a intrapersonally. Yeah, I don't know. So this whole like and I like being girly. Like, I like, to some degree, like, I like that I can't like open pickle jars, right? Like, I like that I have to like get my fiance to open a pickle jar for me. But I also, he also really likes that when he comes home from a long day from work, I'm playing with his hair and analyzing with him how to like get through the worst part of his day, or how to like he uses, we use each other as like whiteboards, as Brittany would say. To like solve problems with each other, like teamwork, partners. Okay. And I believe that is like true divine masculinity and divine femininity. And I think that a lot of that is like lost in the fresh and fit stuff. So I think that I might have overcorrected as a response to like the Andrew Tate sort of masculinity. But I think that a lot of men agree with me, and that they think that women are probably equal to them. But we're different in a lot of ways.
Okay.
Do you disagree?
I'm just writing down things and I'm listening to you. Okay. Okay, listen up. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Are you sure you're ready?
I'll ever be.
Okay. Just gonna talk for a second and I'm gonna make a couple of guesses. Okay, you can tell me if I'm totally wrong or getting kind of warm. Okay. It feels like you've lived up to maybe a few months ago a relatively philosophically unexamined life. Did you just mirror yourself? Why? Do you want to go upside down next?
Yeah.
We're gonna have a nice 69 with our fucking boxes on fucking Discord. Okay, stop. You're distracting me. Pay attention to the mic. Hold on. I'm not wasting my words here. I'm picking every word deliberately. I'm communicating with you. Yeah. Are you listening to me?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay, flip back. Come back.
I like this one more.
Okay. Feels like you've gone through life. You haven't like really stopped to like super figure out a lot of these like really important fundamental philosophical positions.
Wrong.
Okay. Explain that part then. We're probably going to disagree a lot on this.
I think I'm very like frontal lobe. I've been thinking about these things since I think too early actually. And I think because I'm so open-minded to it, because I've accessed like every philosophy that I could go towards, I'm very flip-floppy. Because I'm very much like a grass is always greener type of person.
Okay, let me rephrase this, okay? I'm not going to say that you're unexamined. I'll say that like you have examined things, but they're more abstract or higher level ideas and not very, very fundamental ideas.
Okay, so like what?
So like a question of like, what is my purpose in life? Or what are the things that make me feel happy or fulfilled? Or what are the things that ought to make me
Those are things I
feel...
haven't?
Yes.
Oh no, I know that I have those down.
Okay. Let me talk through my reasoning, and then you can make this make sense for me. Okay.
Okay. Are you saying this just because I'm a young woman?
No, I'm not. I'm going to tell you why I'm saying this. Okay. So there's a phenomenon that happens. Usually it'll happen sometimes when people are teenagers. For me, it was when I became an atheist. Sometimes it's when people go through a big life-changing event. Sometimes it'll be when people in their 30s or 40s or 50s. It just super depends. Everybody's on their own journey. But something will happen that will radically shake the foundation of a person's life. And the more stuff that they kind of took for granted or didn't examine, the more susceptible they are to foreign ideas. So after losing somebody's religion or after losing something, all of a sudden, now you're looking around and somebody's like, hey, women and men have a greater overlap than they do a difference, and women and men should both be able to pursue whatever they want, and they're more or less the same. It's like, that sounds like a really good idea. And then somebody else is like, well, actually, the differences between women and men have been seen through all of history. Women feel happier doing some jobs, men feel happier doing other jobs. Like, that actually sounds really good. And somebody and you get into this thing where all of a sudden everybody is saying something, and people have thought about their positions for a long time. They give good arguments for all of them, and you find that you're very not at home. Yeah, you feel that you're not at home with anything. And I think that so many things can be true. No, they can't. That's not true, though.
Yes, they can.
No, because a lot of these ideas are going to be contradictory and they'll clash with each other, right?
Well, I don't think that anything that I'm saying is contradictory and clash. Like, I think that women probably more women feel comfortable not being the sole provider of the household, right? I think more women feel comfortable that way.
Let me finish.
But I don't think that there should be like. Let me make it clear that I'm not talking. I don't want to politicize feminism.
We're not talking. We haven't even gotten into politics. I don't care about politics. I'm talking about you as a human being right now. I'm not even talking about ideologies. I'm not yelling. Okay. If I was yelling, you'd be crying. Okay. Because I can tell you got a lot of feminine energy coming off you right now. Okay. If you don't have those really fundamental parts of your life, like rock solid and super analyzed, then you are susceptible to other people giving arguments, and then you kind of being pulled in a direction because it sounds good. Now, everything I'm describing that's not a bad thing. It's all part of like our development. It's part of growing up. It's part of learning things.
Jesus, don't talk down to me.
I'm not talking okay, first of all, I can talk down to you because one, I'm pretty sure you're like 3 feet tall, and two, you're like 10 years younger than me. You look like you're 3 feet tall, okay? So two things, okay? So I can talk down to you, okay? But I'm not talking down to you because, like I said, you could be somebody in your 30s or 40s doing this. You could be somebody who's like 14 or 15 doing this, right? You're over 18, right?
Who's to say?
No, you did OnlyFans. I know you are. Okay. So all I'm saying is that, like, if you are engaging with like more abstract level ideas, which are fun to engage with, because at the abstract level, we can talk about things like feminism and patriarchy and social democracy and capitalism and all of that. Those are like very abstract ideas. But the really deep internal stuff of like, what is my purpose in life? What ought my purpose be? What are things that leave me happy or fulfilled? Like, what am I trying to do? Those are deeper questions that can be harder to answer. And they're not as much fun to explore sometimes as like the really abstract level stuff. Okay, hold on. I'm not saying you're a bad person.
No, I'm not. I think I agree with you. Okay. But I wanted to have a conversation about why I think that is and why. Okay. Because I think that this informs a lot of what I'm going through right now.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, go for it.
Is that I am, I'm 24. I'm aging out of like the usual.
Hitting the wall. Yep.
Sure. I've lived my whole life as like a pretty girl, right? Yeah. And so I started to get really scared. Okay. As like I think most women who grow up, like not a lot of people in my life have like valued anything other than like the way that I look or the way that my body look. And that's like that didn't really bother me until I was like 18 or 19. And then I used it for my advantage. Obviously, I made money with it. And now that I'm not making money with it, I'm like, okay, this is useless to me. Like, what am I? And then I did have a moment where I was like, what is my purpose? Like, who am I outside of this when all of this fades? Who the fuck am I? And I think that quitting OnlyFans was like a huge moment for me. I'd done it for my whole adult life, right? Like 6 years. I've been doing sex work. And then all of a sudden you take away the money and the attention, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what am I doing? Sure. But I did have like these conversations about myself. Like I knew obviously a basis of myself while I was doing sex work. Like I knew that I think the purpose of life is to like connect with other people, to like love each other, connection. I think that also informed my like sex work. I also really, I think that a lot of sex work can be like very beautiful, like in-person sex work with people with disabilities or like stuff like that. I think that could be actually like very beautiful.
Okay, I don't care about that. Just talk about yourself. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Okay.
But yeah, I think I'm like, I don't know if I believe in like hedonism the same way I did. And so I'm just trying to, this is why a couple months ago I was like, am I religious? I'm like trying to find like a set of
Okay, can I interject, or can I
No, go ahead.
Let me float an idea here, and then you can try to get this right. So that thing that I spoke about the difference between having your fundamental positions figured out or not. The more figured out those positions are, the more internally driven you can be in terms of defining how you engage with the world. And the less that those positions are figured out, the more you kind of have to look externally to things for definitions or value. So like a concrete example of this might be your feelings about being a pretty woman are largely driven, or in the past have been largely driven by your engagement externally with that concept. So growing up at an early age, it might be other people saying, you're a pretty woman, therefore I'm going to hit on you at 7, 8, 9 years old. Happens with girls. And then maybe at some point, you might think like, okay, well, I'm going to use this to my advantage, but using it to your advantage was still looking for that external engagement. Okay, you're a pretty woman, I'm going to jerk off to pictures of you on OnlyFans. And now as you're leaving that, you're having a feeling where somebody might say something like, oh, this is empowering to you, or oh, like at least you did these things in a way that was positive. But it doesn't feel that way, because it feels like in both circumstances of whether you're consenting or not, your engagement with the concept of being a woman is something that you're going external yourself and subjecting yourself to other people's ideas of it. So in a non-consensual way, when you're a kid, it's other people hitting on you. In a consensual way, as an adult, it's doing OnlyFans, but both ways still feel kind of shitty, because that whole drive, that whole engine around being a woman is coming completely external to yourself, and it feels a little bit out of control. Do you think that's an okay description, or?
Definitely.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, so I think that I'm just trying to I don't know, everything feels I also, listen, I'm a Zoomer. And so I'm being like
kind of like a young millennial, but okay, go ahead.
No, I'm definitely a Zoomer,
okay,
yeah.
Go ahead.
So I'm getting fed like all of this information constantly, and I've had unbridled access to the online forever. So I think that this is like I think that a lot of women my age are having the same struggles that I'm having.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why that's why I want to have a platform like this, because so many women are messaging me every day and are like, I'm right there with you. I think that's really valuable.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I said, every time I come on here, I don't have like fully fleshed out like prescriptions for everything.
Sure.
I'm learning with everyone. Mm-hmm. And I think that's
yeah, don't care about that. We're not even at that part yet, okay? We're just trying to get your mind mapped out here. I'm just trying to figure out, okay? So something that I said earlier.
So my values, I have strong values. Like I'm really
we're not even talking about your values right now. Just looking at this.
Then what the fuck are we talking about, Steven?
We're working.
You're just teaching me.
I'm not teaching you. I haven't taught you anything yet. I'm just trying to figure out.
Psychoanalyzing me.
I'm not psychoanalyzing. I'm trying to figure out what is going on in your head.
You're Dr. K-ing me right now.
I am
Max
Dr.
is
K-ing
watching this.
Do you want to cry right now?
So mad.
Lav, I'm going to be your best friend for 2 years, okay? You're not allowed to kill yourself until then, all right? You feel okay, buddy? I'll host your stream every day, okay? So you don't kill yourself, all right? You feel okay? All right, okay. So just as a quick thing for what I was talking about earlier, because you've gotten that you have this like weird external engagement, not weird, I'm sorry, because you have like a pretty normal external engagement with what it means to be a woman, and then you're kind of unsatisfied, even in parts where you felt like you were choosing to have that engagement. Now you're searching for like a more fulfilling meaning. The thing that I'm kind of pointing you at is that it feels like all of these answers are going to be relatively unsatisfying because you're still looking external for that meaning. Although it sounds like this has been an impetus for you to think about it personally more, in terms of you saying, rather than like people like sex work because of this or people do this, you're thinking like, well, women have like a divine thing, or there might be some idea related to the concept of being a woman that now you want to explore more. You just have to make sure that like you're engaging in genuine like introspection, self-reflection, that you're having these thoughts and you're not just kind of like hearing a good idea and grabbing it and running with it, because that's only going to last as long as until you run into the next good idea, and everything is going to be just as unsatisfying as like the sex work was or anything else. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
I also struggle with this though, because I think that part of my feminism is based in the fact that like a lot of a woman's experience is external because of the way that the patriarchy like men see her.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a hard time, because of the way I look, believing that I will ever have an internal experience that I can project that is valid.
Yeah, sure. So here's like the important thing that I would say to keep in mind for that, okay? This is very, very, very important. If I briefly say, like, do you know the difference between like an is and an ought? Like the car is blue versus you ought to be kind.
Thank you for explaining this to me.
I was explaining for the audience that didn't know, okay?
I'm very stupid. I'm very slow. I have a woman brain. Thank you.
You don't have a woman's brain. You have a Jewish brain, so I know you're very smart, okay?
I have an indigenous brain right now, actually.
Okay. The way that people treat you, that's going to be like an external thing, but that doesn't have to drive how you ought to be treated, or more importantly, how you ought to act. Just because people treat you in a certain way, like they might treat a woman, the problem is that when people treat you certain ways, it can override the feeling of how you ought to be. So arguably, this is where something like an internalized sense of misogyny or racism can come from. If enough men treat a pretty woman as like a bimbo dipshit, eventually the woman thinks like, well, this is kind of how I'm supposed to act because it's how everybody treats me, right? So it is true that you have like an external engagement with the world. That's necessary. You're a human being. Social engagement is part of being a human. But just because you have that experience, hopefully you can separate that from your internal understanding of what you ought to be doing or how you ought to be acting. Try not to let that like poison the other thing, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I talked about this with my therapist because she tells me the same stuff that you're saying right now. But it's, I don't have the internal experience of like should or ought. Like at all. And we think it's like tied to me being autistic.
But well, if you were autistic, wouldn't you have that experience?
Oh my god. No, I don't experience the social praxis. I don't experience the this is maybe why I don't find like optics that concerning, where I'm like I don't understand that I should I'm very like black-pilled, and where I'm just like the way that people see me is like the way that I am pretty much.
Yeah, but do you feel like you ought to act in the way that people see you? Is that like a strong, because it feels like you were kind of breaking away from that with the, yeah.
No, I do what I want to do, but I don't, like what people think of me is like none of my business, but it is my business now because I'm like a public figure. But like in my real life, I act exactly the way that I want to at any given moment. Like I'm not trying to, one of my value in life, like the thing that I build my life around is transparency, like radical transparency and acceptance. So, and I think that this is a lot because
what are you going to therapy for? Wait, are you borderline?
No.
Okay. Sorry,
but
you
I did
used
have
the trigger word
I did
for me,
have
so
a
go ahead.
No, I did have a narcissistic mother.
Okay.
So I have like a narcissistic wound, which like
that's fine.
looks like BPD, I guess, but
okay, I just heard the radical acceptance is a keyword for.
It's a DBT, yeah. But people do DBT. I was in treatment for 2 years, at residential treatment center, so they just gave us classes.
Gotcha.
And that's where I learned
just
it.
checking. Making sure. I have a policy about associating with cluster B people, so go ahead.
I might be a narcissist, so.
I don't think that's real, so don't worry. Go ahead. We're streamers.
Okay.
We're all narcissists out here. Go ahead. Anyway,
Yeah,
sorry. Keep
true.
going.
But as I was saying, my anyway, so narcissistic wound. The thing that I don't have about I don't have like the abandonment thing. I don't care if someone fucking leaves me. I'm like, okay, I'm on my own anyway, lone wolf. But that's like the only difference. But I do have a lot of the other things. But my mom, my whole childhood would like gaslight me, like constantly. Her reality was like the reality. It was like extremely confusing to me.
Okay.
So I spent my whole childhood like accuracy testing with people around me. Like, is this actually the way that it is? Like, I would do this thing with my mom all the time where I'm like, where I was like, I developed like control issues. So obviously I had an eating disorder. We talked about that, but I also had I have a metaphobia, which is like the fear of vomit because I'm scared. It's like an OCD. I'm like scared of losing control of my body.
Metaphobia?
So, emetophobia.
Emetophobia.
Emeto.
Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
emetophobia.
Gotcha.
It's actually pretty common.
Do you feel this at all when you're having periods? I'm just curious.
Yeah, so if I'm nauseous at all, I cannot do anything.
Okay.
Like, I completely shut down.
Gotcha.
And, like, sensory deprivate and, like, keep myself busy. I play Tetris a lot when I'm nauseous. I have the highest score I have the third highest score in LA. Tetris
I'm sure
Master.
You do. Okay.
Thank you. I do.
You would get destroyed, but go ahead. Okay.
But anyway, so it's like a control issue. I forget where I was going with that. Fuck, you ruined my train of thought.
You were talking about how you hate to feel out of control of yourself, and then you started talking
about
so
I would accuracy test. So I'd be like so then my mom became this beacon of like, I'd be like, am I gonna throw up? And she'd be like, no. And then I'd ask her like every 15 minutes because I was a very panicky child. I'd be like, I also had this idea when I was like 6 that my brain was gonna fall out of my head. So I'd be like, is my brain gonna fall out of my head? She'd be like, no. Then she became like this beacon, like my god, where I'd go to her every time I was like, is this gonna happen to me? And she'd say no. But then she started weaponizing it as I got older. If she got mad at me.
Okay.
And then like her truth, because she was like my god, it started being like the truth. So then when my mom told me like, she told me that I was like evil a couple times, or she told me that I was like a manipulative liar, when like I knew that I wasn't lying, but I trusted her so much that I trusted her perception of me, and I started to self-abandon. And I have that, like I still have that where I self-abandon like constantly when I'm like, oh fuck, like if someone tells me, I can have a firm grasp on who I am, but if you tell me like, oh, I think that you're like a piece of shit, I'm gonna start to be like, fuck, I am a piece of shit, even if I know I didn't do anything wrong. I just like internalize everything, like everything anyone says.
Gotcha.
Which is bad, but people don't think I'm doing that because I'm very, poker face about it.
Okay. Hold on, wait, real quick. I want to ask you a question. Okay.
Okay.
I'm having this conversation. Well, initially I thought it was about feminism shit. Trying to understand your mind.
We're getting there.
I'm not trying to. I'm just explaining where we're at. Okay. I'm not trying to go for gotchas or own you in a debate. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Okay, gotcha. Just making sure. Okay. So if I ask you questions where I'm trying to reconcile two things, I'm just trying to figure out what's...
Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So something you said here is that when people say things about you, that you internalize things that you say, right? Or that they say to you, right? Earlier, you mentioned that you feel like you didn't care about what people said. Can you explain to me like the difference between these two things in terms of what you're talking about?
So it becomes a thing where it's like when your room is so messy, you stop to care. Like you stop caring.
Okay.
So when you have like, if you have like one plate out, I think you're more likely to care and like put that in the sink.
Okay.
Than if you walk into a room and it's already like chaotic, right?
Yeah. Sorry, the fucking camera. Go ahead.
Shut up. No, but do you understand that a little bit? So I think
this is actually the concept of have you ever heard of broken windows policing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah. So it's like, it's just so much is going on that I'm like, okay. And also with DBT, I've learned a lot also. Like I'm trying to actively fix this in myself, right? So I'm trying not to internalize everything that everyone says. It means more when someone I respect tells me something. Like when Max did the whole thing where he like spazzed out and said that I was like doing whatever I was doing, that like really hurt me.
Gotcha.
And then I started to be like, oh my God, maybe I am doing this.
Okay.
Right?
I'm glad you said this because this is kind of what I was looking for, is when you start to describe that idea of you internalize everything everyone else says. I don't know if you mean that or if you really just mean that people that you respect or look up to or close to, you internalize everything they say, because that's going to be likely for like parents doing that or loved ones or people that you respect, but maybe not so much like random strangers, right?
Thing that's crazy is that I told you I went to treatment for 2 years. So I was like locked away. I went to like a boarding school and it was a residential treatment center.
Okay.
And we had to learn skills. We had a skill sheet where we had to fill it out every day, and we got 1,000 points for like a whole bunch of skills.
Okay.
So the first 2 skills you get is following directions and accepting feedback. And it was like a brainwashing tactic. They've gotten rid of this since because it's abusive. But for 2 years, accepting feedback was one of the skills I had to work on every day. And if I didn't accept feedback, so if someone told me something and I disagreed with it, I could say nothing, and I had to internalize it for 2 years. And I just had to say okay.
Well, I mean,
and if I didn't, I wouldn't make my privileges, which means I couldn't talk to anyone. I couldn't wear makeup. I couldn't read the books I wanted. I couldn't watch TV. Like this was like an abusive Alpine Academy. Shut it down. But so I maybe it's because I'm also brainwashed in that I think that I should just be internalizing everything because I should just be taking everyone's experience of myself into account. I don't know. It's a whole bunch of things that are leading up to like a very maladaptive trait that is me internalizing too much.
Hold on. Can I get some soy? I need to soy the fuck up. Can you give me 1 second?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great. Typical. I guess I'll see what chat's saying. Please be nice to me, guys.
Okay. When you say internalizing, we need to figure out what the fuck this means. So let's say random stranger on the internet says, "You're a dumb bitch." Does that bother you?
It makes me think, though.
That you are a dumb bitch?
Yeah.
Okay. If a person close to you or somebody that you respect, so like me, obviously, calls you a dumb bitch, or like Max or somebody or some streamer you looks up to calls you a dumb bitch, is it a similar feeling or a different feeling?
Different feeling.
Is it a different feeling, or is it just the same feeling but more intense, or is it totally different?
I think it's the same feeling, but also an added like hurt that you don't see me as I see myself. Like I feel unseen.
Sure. Do you feel the same way with random people, that it's an unseen thing, or is it just something that makes you doubt yourself?
I feel it less, but yeah, I guess it's the same thing. Both. I guess it's the same thing, just different degrees.
Okay. Connor, or do you like any of your parents anymore, or do you hate them all?
I don't hate them. I forgive them. They did the best they can with what they have.
You're not as close to your parents. Okay. Connor tells you that he thinks you're a dumb bitch. Is that similar to a close person, totally different, or just a more intense feeling of the close person?
He would never say that to me.
Say he does.
He sees me.
I'm gonna DM
but
him right
if
now
he
and tell
were,
him, "Hey, call Lav a dumb bitch. We need to see this."
No, he well, I had this experience where I just lost like one of my best friends because we had like a fight or whatever. And she did this thing where she was like, everyone is leaving you because you're the problem in all your relationships. And I like told her that was like something I was like really scared of, and she like used it against me.
Oh, based friend fights where they dig into your most deepest insecurities.
No, that was like horrible. And it fucking rocked me. I was like unable to speak for like a day, where I was just like, oh my God, like she's right. Like anyone else could have said that to me, but her knowing it made it like really, I don't know what you're asking really. I think to some degree everyone cares more about the opinions of people they're close to. Yeah.
I guess what I'm trying to figure out is that like so if I've learned anything the past month is that language sucks, or it's very imprecise. So I'm trying to figure out what you feel when you say something. When somebody says that they're internalizing something, that can mean all sorts of different things. So say somebody comes up to me and they say, "Destiny, you're dumb and you're a bad debater." And I say, "Well, I internalize that." Does that mean that it's making me doubt myself when I wouldn't be otherwise? Does it mean that it's hitting on a doubt that I already have, and now it's like amplifying that? Or does it just make me upset because that person sees me in a way that's different than how I see myself? Like there's a whole bunch of ways that like internalizing something can mean like just a ton of different things. Like
so I'm self-abandoning. So it's like,
what does self-abandoning mean? Explain that. Yeah.
So because my mom like gaslit me so much, I'm like, I question my reality like pretty constantly.
Okay,
so
hold on. Let's get away from I don't like the gaslighting vernacular. Fuck that shit. Let's just speak in human words, okay?
Okay, well, my mom would shift the reality.
When you say, talk to me, what does self-abandon mean?
For me, it means, okay, so when I'm alone, I know myself through and through. I know my values. I know who I am. And it's not fragile. It's not. And it's like, I'm very resilient. It's like, it's very, my view of myself is stretchy, but unbreakable.
Okay.
So when someone tells me something about myself that I don't agree with, it'll hit and like stretch, but it'll bounce back. Like it's.
This is when you're on your own.
I question it. No. When I'm on my own, it's impenetrable.
It's fine.
I mean,
Okay.
it's impenetrable anyway, but it's like a brick wall when I'm on my own.
Yeah.
But then someone could be telling me something and I'm like, okay. Because my mom used to tell me that I was like the reason that her and like my dad divorced, right?
Were you? I'm just fucking with you. I'm
Maybe.
sorry.
Maybe one of them.
Go ahead.
Maybe one of them,
Okay.
honestly.
One of the divorces or for one of the parents? I'm just kidding. Go.
Yeah. No, but she used to tell me things like I was evil, or like I was like she used to say that like my eyes turned black when I got angry, and that I was like possessed or something, right? Like whatever.
Jesus.
And so I'd start to be like, oh fuck, like maybe I am. Or like, you know, when someone tells you, when your God tells you that you are something so many times, like your person, your primary caregiver tells you that you are one thing, you start to be like, okay, maybe I am this thing. Even if you don't feel it, you like consider it.
Sure. That's pretty normal from like a primary caregiver, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. But when it's like constantly bad, it makes you like really doubt yourself because no one wants to be a bad person.
Sure. But so here's a worry that I have, okay? I'm about to stand probably in contrast to a lot of what your therapist says. So you figure the own answers out for yourself, and I don't want to take away anything they're saying, okay? Because I think I might be opposite the field on this. But something that worries me is that when people frame a lot of their current problems through past traumatic or unsatisfying interactions, the worry that I get is sometimes it's described as though the problem becomes intractable. There's nothing you can do about it. I'm not saying that's what you're saying, okay? But I hear a lot of the framing of
I
life
talked to
related
Brittany about this, actually.
Okay.
I talked to Brittany about this because I think that Brittany's one of those people where she's like, I just got to roll with it.
Okay.
And I'm like actively trying to unlearn this.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, that's good. Okay.
But it's like an explanation for, I'm like still at the very beginning of my journey, what it feels like, right? Like I spent my whole life feeling very like unsafe. Because I was like alone or homeless or putting myself in compromising positions. And for the first time now I'm like, you know, I'm engaged to be married. I'm with like a very safe person, my partner. I have a very secure attachment style for the first time in my life. So I feel like I've been able to explore myself in ways that I was not able to before.
A little bit, but you're still also, a part of you is exposed to a more than average hostile environment by doing online stuff, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
But I have a home base, which I never had before.
Sure, which is good, but it's important to know that while still trying to figure out that internal stuff, you're also subjecting yourself to heightened turmoil and
of course
getting in the way of that process a little bit. Not that it's bad. I'm not saying you should quit everything or whatever.
Well, dude, this is my dichotomy. It's the same thing. I'm very much like I shouldn't have to be attractive for worth, and I'm still fucking putting on eyelashes every day. Because I like it.
Well, you shouldn't do that. That's why we advocate for no makeup on this stream, you know? You should have, everyone here would have been A-okay with it, but you're the one that was a slave to your own internally driven desires, so... I
like to be pretty. I like to be seen as pretty. And I know that I shouldn't have to feel that way.
Well, so like, here's a... Okay. I'm digging into every sentence you say. Sorry, I know this is really autistic.
It's my undoing, and I also love it.
When you say, I like to be pretty, right? Do you mean I, personally, like to be pretty, or do you mean that you like to be treated as a pretty person?
To look at myself in the mirror and be like, oh, I look pretty today. It like brings me joy, obviously.
Is it because you like it, or is it because you think other people will see you that way?
No, I like to look at myself.
Are you
when
sure?
I'm all dressed up.
I'm not saying you're wrong. Have you really examined that thought? Because it's pretty important. But it could be. I'm not. When I ask, are you sure? I'm not trying to say like, oh, you're wrong, and I'm trying to get you wrong. I'm just.
I obviously put makeup on to get on this stream. Like I know that it's performative.
Well, but you're also saying that like.
I know I get more things when I look attractive.
Okay.
I know that people are more likely to cut me some slack if they find me attractive.
Okay, that's not happening here. Okay.
But
do you let's say that like better. When you're hanging around the house all day alone on your own, let's assume Connor is gone. Do you put on makeup when you're?
So it depends. So when I'm on I pole dance, and when I'm
hold on
pole dancing
like, on your own in your house or like out with friends. Yeah. Okay.
No, like alone in my house.
Okay.
I like to feel my like most attractive, most like feminine and beautiful when I pole dance because I feel like I flow better. Like I just feel better about myself when I'm dancing. And I can do that without makeup, but I always end up having like a better session when I wear makeup.
Okay.
Because I'm looking at myself in the mirror and I'm like, well, I look like a cartoon. I like looking like a little cartoon.
Okay,
or
that
like
makes
an
sense.
enigma.
Let's get away from
Yeah.
pole dancing. Makes sense for pole dancing. Let's get away from
Okay.
that. Say you're just lazing around the house. You're not really going to do it. You're just crawling around being a dumb bitch. You're not like, you don't have like anything ultra feminine going on. Like, would you still put on makeup or would you just like...
No.
No.
Makeup a lot. In real life. I wear it to go on stream, but in real life I'm like pretty... I don't wear a lot of makeup. I don't wear any makeup, honestly.
Never.
When I'm not doing something like this, no.
Okay. I'm digging still. So earlier I asked you the difference between do you like to be pretty or do you like to be treated as pretty? But it seems like if you're
Well, I
on
think
your
that
own...
I'm pretty without makeup also.
Sure, but that's not what I'm not asking if you feel like you're pretty without makeup. I'm trying to figure out why
Well, I
you
like...
put on
Well,
makeup.
no, I put on makeup because I like to elevate it, but I still like to be pretty. Like, I like that I am pretty even without makeup. Like, I like looking at myself and seeing that I'm like a pleasing to the eye.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really like the shape of my body. I don't know if it's because other people have told me that they like the shape of my body.
Uh-huh.
But I know that I do like it. Like, I like to look at myself naked.
Okay.
So, isn't that autogynephilia? Aren't all women kind of autogynephilic?
I don't know. Okay. I'm just curious.
I don't know either. But I do like if there's no one else in the world and there's just me, I'm still putting makeup on and looking at myself naked.
Okay, hold on. You give me a lot of contradictory answers because you just said that you'd go around all day in the house and not put on makeup unless you're pole dancing.
Need it. I don't
What?
need it, but
I'm not. Hold on. I'm not asking if
for
you need
special
it. I never
occasions-
asked, and I never asked for special occasions.
Well, I do like it, but it's like a hobby.
It's not a hobby. It's a way to change your appearance for a certain reason. I'm trying to figure out what that reason is.
No, to me it's a hobby.
It's not just a hobby. It has to do with how other people view you, right?
Well, no, if there's no one else in the world, I'm still doing it.
Okay, then why is it that when you're around the house not pole dancing, you said you wouldn't wear makeup?
Because I don't feel the need to. Like, I just want to focus on things. I want to be able to rub my eyes. I want to be able to, like, I don't know. It's just it's like an effort thing.
Okay.
Like, sometimes, like, I could, and maybe sometimes I will, if I'm like not doing anything and I'm like, yeah, I could do a little bit of makeup, do a little pick me up. It's not something that I'm like needing.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
But yeah, it's like a hobby.
Would you
certainly, when I go out though, I'm doing it not just as a hobby. Like, I want people, when I do it to get on stream, I'm doing it so that people view me a certain way.
Gotcha.
Certainly.
Okay, I'm just curious. All right. Where were we before this? You're talking about knowing yourself. We were talking about internalizing things, transparency.
Yeah, internalizing things, transparency. So because my mom would question my reality or make me feel like my reality was different, it was very important to me with my first boyfriend when I was 16 to start accuracy testing during fights with my mom. So I would start recording the fights that we had and I'd send them to him, and he was the first person who told me that I wasn't crazy, because I felt like I was going crazy with the things that my mom was telling me.
Okay.
And so then I was like, oh fuck. So then I started accuracy testing like constantly, and I still do it with Connor constantly, where I'm like, I hope I'm not being manipulative right now. Like, I'll start to cry during a conversation that we're having, and I'm like, you don't feel like I'm manipulating you right now with my tears, right? Like, I'm having a reaction.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'll be like, I'm having a reaction right now. I want you to know that you don't have to react to this reaction. I just want you to know that this is my physical response, and I don't want it to affect the way that you're telling me. Like, radical honesty. I want you to tell me something, even if it hurts. Even if it hurts me, I want to know about it. Because that's like consent to me. Because I want you to, that's why I want you to know who you're with. So like, this started before we before we opened, we would like flirt. We would flirt with other people. I would flirt with other people, and I'd tell him exactly what happened, because I want him to know the sort of person that he's with, because I don't want him to be blindsided. And I would hope that the same thing happened to me. In the beginning of a relationship, something happened where he had met up with an ex-girlfriend like a month into our relationship.
Okay.
And it was completely platonic. But I was so hurt the fact that he like couldn't tell me, because he felt like he couldn't, not because I said anything or I would get mad at him or he did anything wrong. But it was just the fact where I felt like the rug was pulled out from under me. Like, I was like, I don't know you, because he had lied to me, because he had said that he hadn't seen her.
Okay.
And so I was like, okay, I couldn't consent to being with you because I didn't know you. Honesty is extremely important to me. I need to know exactly what I'm getting, and because of that, I think that's why I don't care about fleshing out things, is because I'm like, I want you to see I want you to see me. I want you to see me, how I'm seeing things, how I'm processing things. I want you to listen to my train of thought. I want you to be there with me every step of the way. I don't want to have conversations that are not happening in front of you. I guess trust. I want people to trust me because I want to be able to trust other people. I don't know.
Okay. Gotcha. I don't know where to go from here. Feminism. I think everything you're talking about is pretty normal. That stupid fucking camera zoom.
Shut up. Get over it.
People like to feel like their partners are totally honest with them because when you're in a certain type of relationship, you're such a stupid fucking bitch. Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. You're gaslighting me right now with the fucking stupid camera movements to fuck with my head. Okay. People like to feel like they know their partner completely because in a way it's kind of like a form of consent for them to be open and honest with you. And when they're not, there's parts of that relationship that you can't see that it almost feels like you're not consenting to if they're hiding things from you, right?
Well, yeah. I also feel like, like I feel this way with like when friends gossip about each other. Like I'm very inclined to like when someone comes up to me and they're like, "Don't tell me what I said about this person." I'm like, "No, I'm telling them exactly what you said," because I think that that's helpful. Like, because why would you bring this up to me when they can change it if you bring it up to them? You know what I mean? Like that's another part of it.
Explain that again. What?
So like, I have like two best friends and sometimes they talk about each other and they'll be like, "Don't tell this person I said this," and I'll be like, "No, like I'm gonna tell this person you said this because I think they should know."
Okay, no secrets with love then. Okay.
Well, no, I'll keep secrets if it makes sense.
Nope.
But if it's something like I really hate the way that she said this to me, I'll be like, "Okay, why are you telling me about this? Tell her about this."
And then you'll go and you'll tell her. You'll break the trust.
Because I really value communication.
Wow.
But I won't be like, "She told me not to tell you this." I'll be like, "I think it's really important for me to facilitate a space where you guys can get this sorted." Because I don't want to be a middleman, and I don't want you guys to like breed like discontentment.
Oh, that too. Okay.
No, but that's really important. So like if I'll tell my friends, I'll accuracy test with my friends all the time and I'll be like, "Are you mad at me about something? It will not hurt my feelings. I need to know what you are thinking right now because I need to be able to change it. I don't want you to ever resent me for anything. I don't want you to get mad. I want you to set boundaries with me and I want you to tell me how you're feeling about me."
Okay, that's fair.
I value that a lot. I value communication a lot. I think that's a very feminine trait.
No, that shouldn't be feminine or masculine.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be feminine or masculine, but it is feminine.
Why do you say that? No, I don't care. Actually, never mind. I don't. Agree,
no, I think women are socialized. I think that we have studies and stuff showing that like men that like babies.
No, that's kind of true.
Babies
are
women treated softer and
sure, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't think that should be the case.
Okay.
But I think it just is the case.
Okay. Descriptive, not prescriptive. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that we should force feminize men. Is what I'm saying.
Is that what you want, femboys?
I don't want femboys. But I think that masculinity looks a lot different than like what Fresh and Fit thinks.
Sure.
Like I think masculinity looks a lot like dependability and understanding and like being like a rock.
Not rock hard all the time.
And being like analytical.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's back up a second.
Okay.
I don't need this. Where do you what are your ideas of like male versus female role or masculine versus feminine traits? Where do those come from? Talk to me about that.
So I think some of it is like nurture, obviously. Like
no, I'm not looking for bullshit buzzwords or science answers. Just tell me, like, where do you feel like you get these ideas from?
What do you like? Just in the world.
Like when I ask you, like, you earlier, you speak about like there are inherent feminine qualities, there are inherent feminine traits.
Yeah.
Where do you feel like these ideas stem from in your mind? Like, do you feel like these are like divine in nature? Like you're very religious? I'm sorry, am I fucking boring you?
No, I'm just anxious and I'm not getting enough oxygen, so my body's telling me to get more by yawning.
Okay. You're trying to put me on edge by yawning at me. Okay.
I'm sorry.
You're manipulating me
Sorry.
right now.
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Stop. Okay. You can't disarm me by laughing.
I
either.
just
That's
I had a
manipulation
moment where
too.
I had a moment where I did just self-abandon and I was like,
You should
am
have.
I?
You
But
should
I'm
have.
not,
That's
you
good.
little bitch.
All right. My goal is to make you doubt yourself as much as possible.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
No problem. Don't thank me for it. You're gonna hate me for it by the end of this. Okay.
What was the question again?
I don't know. I'm just trying to keep the convo long enough to delete all our DMs so you don't leak everything to your friends. Okay. Okay. The question was, where does your feeling of like masculine or feminine? Where do those come from? Like you think a man should do this, you think a woman should do this. Like talking about that for a second.
So I think I'm very like in tune with. I think what makes me like honor women so much is the fact that we can like create life. And so I think that because we can create life, I think that like inherently women are like more predisposed to be able to like take care of that life and cultivate life. So yeah, I guess it is pretty spiritual or religious. Yeah.
What do you think about a woman that is like, I want to be an engineer, I don't want to have kids?
I think that's fine.
Okay.
I think that that's an aberration though.
When you say aberration, are you normatively loading that word, such as like it's bad to be an aberration, or are you saying like that's probably not the norm?
That's just not the norm.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think power to that person. I think there's some men who like really want to. Obviously, trans women exist. There are some men that really want to be mothers.
Hold on, just why?
What?
I'm like watching you walk into a ditch that's like filled with like rakes. You just like stepped in all of them. Okay.
No, I think that you have.
Wait,
I have a very different view of gender and
maybe
in a perfect
world, not. No, hold on.
In a perfect world,
we're gonna put trans people in a box and let's not open that for a while. Okay, let's just not talk about that.
Whoa, you want to put trans people into camps? What the fuck?
Nice. I like how the camera follows around your stupid fucking like I'm in some shitty mockumentary. Okay.
Sorry,
Are you done gaslighting me with your jokes?
Yeah, I am.
Thank you.
I'm done gender baiting you.
Okay, that's good. I'm just trying to get you to self-abandon as much as possible. Okay. Once I've broken you down, I can rebuild you. Predisposed to taking care of life. You're okay with aberrations. You said that it's not like a bad thing.
I believe in like agency and like free choice. I don't think that you should be destined like to do something or forced into it.
Okay. How do you think we ought to view women in society, like their roles?
As important as any role. I think that yeah, anything that adds to society, such as like child rearing, making sure that a child has like a strong foundation to be like a successful person in their relationships and their job is really important.
When we say like adds to society, does this
I think it's more important. I think that women are more important than men.
I mean, you're a woman, so you would think that.
No, we can create life.
Not on your own.
We can. I mean, we're getting there.
Who, the male scientists are?
Yeah.
Yeah. Stop. Turn it down.
Okay, I'll stop.
You're at a 5. I need you to bring it back down to a 3.
I'm just kidding.
You're getting
no,
very
but I do
gender combative right now.
I do really value. Here's the thing. I think I'm overcorrecting because I think that a lot of men do not give a shit about this. A lot of men do not like honor a woman's ability to create life.
Sure.
When you think about it, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But I think that we think of a lot of things like in regards to women, where like women are not like active participants in their own experience. A lot of men are just like, because they're socialized that way. I don't think it's their fault, right? I think you're kind of immediately, I mean, even through like movies, right? Like the Manic Pixie Dream Girl.
Based.
Like I think you're just like you're like socialized to think that like a woman is just like a side character in your experience. Whereas like a woman is literally conditioned to think that she's a side character in a man's experience.
Sure. I don't disagree.
Which I have a big problem with.
Okay.
So yeah, that's my biggest problem. I believe that we really are as equal. I think that we need each other. The divine feminine needs the divine masculine, and I think that yeah.
Okay. When we're talking about things that women ought to be able to do in society, you said anything that adds to society, right? This includes like the arts, I imagine. If you want to do theater, music, whatever, or if you want to work a normal job.
Sure.
Okay. We're slowly walking towards the elephant in the room. Okay, sex work.
Yeah.
How do you view sexual interaction between a man and a woman? Do you think there's always like a side that is more powerful there? Do you think there's always a give and a take on uneven ends? Do you view it as like an equal exchange?
In normal sex?
Yeah, or just I'm gonna say on the whole paradigm of like sex, understanding that you can have like niche or like BDSM experiences or rape or anything like that. I'm just saying like on the whole, how do you view do you have a view of sex? Some people have particular views of it. Go.
How should I think it? Okay, so I can give you two separate answers. How I think it
descriptive
exists
and
right
prescriptive.
now,
Go for it. Yeah.
and how I think it should be.
Go for it.
Yeah. So how I think it is right now is that because of porn, because of patriarchy, because of absence of a good maternal relationship with men's mothers, I think that a lot of sex feels like it's being done to women, instead of them being active participants, like I was saying earlier. I also think that there's one like inherent, I say this word a lot, difference between the two sexes, and it's that one can kill the other with their bare hands.
Based. So
I think that is are you ever, I don't want to fear monger where I'm like, are you ever truly safe with a man? But if I'm with, when I met Connor, we were like alone, obviously, and he's 6'2", I'm 5'2". He's obviously bigger than me. Like, I can't, we've wrestled before. I stand no, I'm not doing any damage, right? We know that obviously men kill their partners more than women kill their partners. We know that there's a difference. So I think that there's like a power dynamic inherently that plays out, and just like evolutionarily, right? I think maybe men want to like conquer women, right?
Okay.
I think that we've grown past that, though. I think that we're intelligent enough of beings so that we can grow past that. I think that, yeah. And I think that men may want to be more aggressive evolutionarily. But again, I think that we are smart enough to understand the consequences of that. Okay.
We're getting a little bit away, so just for the original thing, you said that sex is done to women instead of them being active participants. You've spoken a little bit about kind of like these biological differences between men and women. Prescriptively, what do you think should change about that? And then let me head off an answer you give, because this is what I'm going to say when you answer this. Is earlier you speak about this concept of a divine masculinity and a divine femininity. So these idealized forms of what it means to be masculine versus feminine. And if you answer something along the lines of like, I think sex should be more of an equal exchange, my next question is going to be, can that dichotomy of divine masculine and divine femininity ever have a truly equal exchange? The answer might be yes. I'm just curious. Yeah, go for it. How should it be? What should change about that?
Yeah, I think so. So I think that, well, one thing, I'm going to say something pretty controversial. I don't believe in like casual sex, like one night offs. Okay. I think that we should be having more sex with our friends.
Based.
So like people that we know, like honor our bodies, and are going to like really take our needs into account. I've had some of my best not my best sexual interactions, but definitely better than like my one night stands were situations where I was having sex with someone over the span of like a couple years that like I didn't have necessarily like a relation. Obviously my best sex has been in relationships, but I felt the safest when I was whatever. Yeah, I think that can also prevent a lot of like bad things from happening.
Sure. Let me clarify real quick. So when you say casual sex is bad, you don't mean like sex outside of marriage. You're specifically referring to sex with people that you don't know, that we don't care about, that you have like a one night stand. Okay, so not like sex with friends. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, because I believe that it's such an emotional experience that we have to that we can't detach ourselves from how emotional it is, men and women. And I think that a lot of people are like, men can have sex without attachment. I don't think that's true either.
Okay.
And I think it's bad for you to think that you can.
Why do you think
and I think that leads to like dehumanizing each other. If we're not, because I mean most of the men that I've had one night stands with don't care that I'm like not orgasming. Or like, don't
Based.
care if I'm faking it.
Absolutely based. Okay. We'll come back to that line of thought. Okay.
Yeah, the female orgasm is a lie perpetrated by George Soros.
Wait, hold on. Do you actually think women can have orgasms?
Shut the fuck up.
You're such a femme. You've been reading way too much dumb femme shit. Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay. Prescriptively, what do you think should change? Let me refocus on this.
I think that hookup culture is like really gross. I think that to some degree it's like some of the prescription is patriarchy, which sucks. Right? Like I was listening to Rachel Wilson talk, and she was talking about how and I'm reading her book right now.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
About how, like, you know, how the homes are affected when like a father and mother aren't in the home. And I'm like, fuck. And I don't believe that it should be like a man and a woman, right? I think it can be anyone. With any gender role, whatever.
Good job. Wow, but very progressive. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, but I do think that like it's really important to have that home base, and we just like don't have it. And I think that like what's perpetuating that is like a lot of like media, and also you know, a bunch of stuff. I think it's really prevalent, obviously, in like Black communities.
Okay, let's get away from the family stuff. I'm just trying to think about sex right now. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I think that you can see the most exaggerated form of this in Black communities. And I think it's why so many radical feminists are Black.
The sex thing or the family thing?
The sex thing, like just the differences, what sex looks like in that community.
Okay. So
how like a man can get a bunch of women pregnant and then like not be part of like the children's lives or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. So descriptively, you're saying that sex is done to women instead of women being active participants in sex, right? And this is
I mean, I don't think this is happening all the time.
Not all the time. I'm speaking generally. Yeah. I'm not trying to.
Okay, I just don't want anyone to pin me to this because I don't want to be an extremist or fearmonger. So.
Okay, you are, but not yet. Okay.
Okay.
And a change that you would like to see for how these relationships go is you think that casual sex probably needs to go. Like things like one-night stands, probably shouldn't engage in them because you have sex with people that are friendly towards you. If that friendship is a prerequisite to sex, there's going to be like a mutual respect there that allows the sex to happen in an environment where you are like respected, cared for, and not treated as an object, essentially, right? A friend. Sure. Yeah.
I don't believe in like a purity culture.
We're not even at that. I'm not trying to pin you on purity.
But I just want to add a caveat that I don't believe in
an addendum go ahead, add this.
I don't believe in purity culture.
Okay.
I don't believe in purity culture, or that we should shame women or shame anyone for having this type of sex. I just think that it needs to be added into the zeitgeist in a way that it is not to honor your body. Okay. That's all I'm saying.
Gotcha. Okay.
Your body's a temple. Men and women.
Not your body. Okay. All right. You got a tattoo, so you already fucked that up. Okay.
Excuse me.
Coming back.
There's art all over my temple.
That's sacrilegious. Okay. We call that vandalization.
Oh, jeez.
Are you allowed to get tattoos as a Jewish person?
Not if you want to get buried in a Jewish cemetery.
Damn, you're actually kicked out? What if they like remove them before you die?
You have to be buried with all your organs also, so you can't remove any skin. Jesus. You can't cut them off.
What if you get like a mastectomy because you have like breast cancer?
You gotta keep it.
Your boobs?
Gotta be buried with
your
it.
cancer? Do they? What about like your baby teeth? Not those. You don't keep those, right?
No.
So it's pick and choose.
Some people do.
Okay.
I think the Orthodox do.
Okay.
But like if you have to get like a spleen removed, can you remove a spleen? Or if you have to get like something removed, a lot of like Orthodox communities won't even get their wisdom teeth removed.
Damn. Do you like?
I'm not Orthodox though.
Never
I'm like
mind.
barely Jewish.
Yeah. Okay. Just when you need to use it as a shield for yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Talk to me about sex work. When we say sex work, we're going to very specifically refer to solo content on OnlyFans. I'm sorry if I'm boring you. Do you need to get a coffee, or do you want to take a break? Do you need a nap?
Coffee's gross.
Do you need a tea, cigarette, some meth?
I'm good.
Okay, just making sure. Okay.
I could use some meth.
Based. Okay. Why? Okay, so for the purposes of this conversation we're about to have, sex work is only solo content on OnlyFans. So masturbation, dildos, or whatever, but no boy-girl stuff, no lesbian stuff, just solo content on OnlyFans, okay? For that type of content, you believe that that's something that is immoral or at least should be socially discouraged, yeah?
But there's a way that it should. So I think that I was just going to fake moan. I shouldn't do that. But I would have been clipped. That would have been a bad idea. I'm so glad I caught myself.
Jesus. Why? Stop moving your face around this fucking stupid camera.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Wow, I'm so glad I didn't do that. But see, sometimes I do think before I speak.
Nice. Try that
but
more
you know,
often.
the fake moaning. I think that so I don't know if I talked to you about this or if I talked to Brittany about this. I'm losing track of conversations. But I even toyed with the idea of like having not an OnlyFans, but having like some sort of thing where I like I'm really sex positive. I am really sex positive.
Okay.
But it's in the scope of like your own sexuality, and I believe that like a lot of women don't even understand that they can have an internal sexuality.
Let's dump sex positive and sex negative, because those terms are going to mean very different things to very different people, right? So let's just.
So I think if you're going to do solo,
uh-huh,
you have to actually orgasm.
Wow. Okay.
I don't think that you should be faking for like a man to like find you sexy, right? Like I had there are quirks that I have when I orgasm that I felt very ashamed of because I didn't feel like they were super sexy. And I think that that's like really harmful. So I think we should be having like more real orgasms through porn or like through whatever. And I was thinking about starting my own thing where I like, you know, teach women how to 1 in 4 women like have never orgasmed by the age of like 23. 1 in 4.
Based. Okay.
So I was like interesting. You know, it's really important to me that women are like in tune with their own sexuality. Should I start a platform where I like teach women how to masturbate, or I teach women how to shave their vaginas, or you know, I just have conversations like an older sister with these women who are not having like honest conversations with their friends because it's taboo, or not having honest conversations with men because they don't care. And I think that's like very beautiful. In the same way I think that some in-person sex work can also be very beautiful, but I think that some things can go wrong when you are like performing things.
Okay, so
and I think that men I think that men are conditioned to find certain things attractive, right?
Yeah, that's probably true.
So I think that this harms men also. Like men, you're not having like a fulfilling sexual relationship if your girlfriend is like faking an orgasm every time.
Hey, listen, as long as you don't know about it. I'm just kidding. Okay.
No, that's not true.
Solo.
It seeps into other aspects of your life.
So if somebody did solo porn, OnlyFans, but everything was genuine, is that like an okay thing for you or no? I'm trying to figure out what I'm getting at is like, is the negativity from OnlyFans the fakeness, or is the negativity just the sex work itself? Go ahead.
No, the sex work itself is like I'm not moralizing the sex work. What I have a problem with porn in general is the pipeline. Like how, you know, people are not told how this is going to change your life in like pretty big ways.
Sure, okay. Don't care about that. We're not talking about that yet. But okay.
Okay. And a lot of the problem I have with porn is that it's so accessible to kids.
Sure. Don't care about that either.
Okay. Well, then I have no problems other than that.
Okay. So then so refocusing then. So when you look at like OnlyFans and stuff.
I think that porn should exist.
Sure.
You don't have to virtue signal to me, buddy. Exist.
Okay. I don't care.
No, I think that OnlyFans can exist. I think that the referral program is disgusting.
Okay.
I think
don't care. Hold on. Stop. We're getting way off track. I don't care about any of this.
I'm gonna kill you.
I just don't care about this.
In your
that's
sleep.
Great. Oh my god, that's so cute. You can make death threats because you're a woman. You think that that's like cute to do that. That's really cool. Nice patriarchy right there. That's really nice. I really like the cluster B women that, you know, make death threats and stuff. You don't know if they're being genuine or not. Oh my god. And you're laughing about it.
Don't call me cluster B.
Oh, that's so cute. Oh my god. Any more threats for us? Do you want to like slam shit around, break something, threaten to break something?
I might. I'll bring a razor on stream and drag it.
Nice. Okay. Jesus Christ. You can't make those jokes, okay?
We've seen your pictures. I didn't make it.
Okay. This is very dark. Trying to keep this light and bubbly, okay? Okay. So you're okay with OnlyFans as long as they are not faking stuff, because you feel like it contributes overall to a culture of people having misunderstandings of what sex actually is or what it looks like or whatever, right?
I think that we as humans don't need the extra fluff. I think that we are literally made to breed, right? We're made to mate. Why would we need the extra fluff, the fake moans, the this is the position I like, even though you don't like it? Even like to some degree, like the speed at which sex happens, it's like it's just all fake. It's not maybe it works for men because men's orgasms are not very temperamental, so you don't need a lot. But I think that women do, like, on average, need, like, more. Like, they need to be in the right headspace. It needs to be, like, the right position. It needs to be the right technique. Like, men aren't as fussy.
Okay. Okay. Where do you want to go from here?
Do you disagree with those things?
No. But, I don't know if you agree with these things. Like the thing you're talking about OnlyFans right now, I'd say the same thing about makeup. Why do we need makeup if we're so beautiful already? Why do we need to
I think that
fake eyelashes and fake all these things?
We don't
in a
need
way,
that.
every time I look at your face, it's like you're showing me a fake orgasm over and over and over again because I don't even know what a real person looks like.
I bet you know what a fake orgasm looks like.
Yeah, your mom does them all the time. Yeah. She thinks I don't know,
God.
but I do. I don't care. I'm in it in 5 minutes.
I'm calling the police.
Yeah, they'd come if they saw some things I did to her.
I think it's different. Yeah. Shut the fuck up.
Okay,
I think it's different.
Yeah.
I think it's different in that, like, makeup is something that now, like, we can't exist in a world without makeup, right? Because now we know that, like, women are valued for, like, their attractiveness. So if you want to be valued, it's kind of just like the trick of the trade. Like, you just got to do it. Whereas, like, with sex, there's not this, like, expectation to where, like, you need to fake moan, or there shouldn't be. I mean, I guess it's very similar, but it feels
there's a lot of things that have been, like, sexually loaded today where, like, every guy is expected to be, like, super dom. Every woman, like, is expecting somebody to choke them.
Did I say that?
What?
I don't think I said that. Oh, I'm very aggressive. I'm very dominant. I don't think that that's sex.
No, okay.
I don't think that that's gendered.
What I'm saying is that I think that there are expectations that have been ramped up sexually, as a result of, like.
Sure, but I think that's also perpetuated by, like, porn.
Yeah, but I would say the same thing is, like, for women's appearances, that's perpetuated by, like, makeup and stuff.
Sure, but I think that one is definitely, like, more unhealthy than the other.
Yeah, for sure, but they're both.
I think
unhealthy.
that sex is so integral to us as humans.
But they can both be bad.
With that is very different.
Like, if I were to punch you as hard as I could in the arm, that would be bad.
I think they're both bad.
But if I punch you in the face, it's way worse. You'd probably die in one hit.
Oh my god.
You look like somebody that has, like, 2 HP.
You're trying to strawman
right?
me. You're trying to shut up. You're trying.
I'm not trying to strawman you. No. Hold on. Wait,
like,
hold on.
Makeup thing.
You're in debate mode. Get out of debate mode. You're out of 6. Bring it down. Yes. Meditate. Yeah. There you go. Take some deep breaths.
I feel like it's different.
It is. Didn't say it was the same.
Because sex is very, like, integral to us, so I think it's more important.
So is appearance.
More transparent with sex.
Yeah, but appearance is pretty important too. No.
I agree, but not at the same degree because it doesn't inform our life the same way that sex does.
I mean,
sex
for some people it can.
All of culture because it's so important to us.
Leave it to a pretty girl to say that, like, how you look doesn't matter. Wow.
Me having longer eyelashes doesn't affect anything.
And yet you still go through the effort to put them on. Don't you see that?
Are you trying to bait me into taking all my makeup off on stream? I won't do it. You won't do that to me.
No, I don't need to. I'm already in your fucking head right now, okay? You know that I'm right, okay? You're going to start wearing less, and you're going to be like, fuck, you got me on this one.
I don't even wear that much.
You wear a ton.
No, I don't. I wear lashes.
And?
And I brush my eyebrows up.
That's it?
I'm wearing a bit of gloss also.
Okay, nothing on your face, nothing on your cheeks, on your nose, nothing.
A little bit of blush.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Nice, okay.
But that's not that much.
Yeah.
Comparatively to the way that some women wear makeup, where they change their face. I think that I don't think that anyone should change their face with makeup. I just think that you should elevate it.
What if some people feel the same way about sex work? They want to elevate it with a couple fake moans.
Also,
oh, debate mode turned on. She's at a 6.
No,
Go.
I don't think that it should be just a woman thing. I think that men should be able to wear makeup also. Men, you groom your face to make it look like you have a jawline.
You're not funny, okay? That's great. I like how you sit like this because your legs are supposed to be a substitute for your personality. Yeah, keep laughing, dipshit. Good one. Did you prepare that joke for the whole fucking stream? Yeah, nice. Open that mouth up real big. Looks like you got a lot of practice doing it, you fucking moron. Yeah, good one. Your mom was right at 6. Your brains did fall out of your ears, okay?
I'm so clever and quick and smart. It's like crazy.
Nice job. Let me know when you're done, okay?
No, but you know what I mean? Like, a lot of men do that.
Sure. So
a lot of men. So I think it's and I think that's fine.
Okay. All I'm asking is, okay, try to get untriggered. Can you put it back in the box because you're very triggered right now? I need you to get untriggered. Can you do that?
I am.
Yeah.
Interesting. I think I hit a nerve.
Nope.
Sorry, Steven.
Not at all. You're not tall enough to. Okay. Put it back in the box. Chill.
Okay.
Okay. All I'm saying is, what if somebody wanted to argue that they wanted to elevate their sex work by doing fake moans and stuff, the way that you might elevate your aging face with a whole bunch of makeup?
I think you can elevate with fake moans, but I think that faking the whole orgasm is bad.
Okay. So, like, you might say, like, makeup is okay, but how do you feel about plastic surgery?
I don't believe in it.
Okay. It's like a similarity you can draw, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the next part you want to go to in this conversation?
Trans people.
Wow. Really?
I hate them.
I can stop. I don't condone any of these statements that are being said right now.
I'm just kidding. I really don't. Because of plastic surgery, that's why I thought about trans people. I don't think that trans people should be forced into, like, I think that a lot of like these rules about how you should look also really affect trans women. Like,
okay, wait, hold on. No, wait. We're not seriously jumping into trans women. Okay, stop.
Hey, why can't we talk about?
We have unexplored stuff in the other area. Okay.
Okay, let's go back then. You lead the conversation. Use your divine masculinity.
Yeah, true. I will.
Lead me.
I am leading you. Okay. You're basically a child, I guess. So.
That's true.
When you, in the argument that you had when you were on that show with Rachel, what were your main contentions with the other people?
Well, my main contentions were like, Polly was like, for 200, or she was like, how much did you make as a sex worker? And I was like, I made a lot of money.
Okay.
And she was like, well, for $200,000, I'd do a lot for that. And I was like, gross. Like, you're like okay with just like sublimating yourself completely for money? Like, that's so anti-human.
Okay, can I suggest something here for you?
Sure.
For a lot of people, poverty is anti-human, and subjecting themselves to some things might be a better alternative. Maybe?
To some degree. But also, mo money, mo problems. Right?
Yeah,
like,
but it doesn't feel that way when you have no money.
Sure, I'm sitting here and none of my problems went away.
Well,
they just festered.
At least, right?
Okay, sure. But I'm sitting here and none of my problems went away. I was still crying myself to sleep a month ago because I was doing sex work. Like, yeah. Okay,
hold on. I'm not arguing with you right now.
Plenty of rich people kill themselves.
Yeah, listen. Okay, not to brag, but
we know that people in poverty
I'm pretty rich.
Are actually
I understand.
Average,
I know.
People in poverty.
Who are you arguing with right now? Who are you arguing with?
We know that people in poverty are on average happier.
I don't know who you're talking to. First of all, that's not true. Secondly, I don't know who you're arguing with right now, okay?
You have nice hands.
Thanks. Your mom said the same thing. Okay. All I'm saying is that...
Blue looks really good on you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Thanks. Are you trying to manipulate me?
No.
Okay. I like your red sweater. It matches the color of your clown lips.
We're like red versus... My clown lips?
Yeah. The clown makeup you put on or whatever.
I want you to...
It's really good. It matches your black hair and your solid brown eyes, I think. Very, very good.
You're so annoying. Oh, I could
very
kill
good
you.
Match on everything. Okay. What I'm asking is,
yeah.
You fucked my train of thought.
Yeah.
Why did you derailed my cart?
Debate tactics.
No. Okay. Stop. I wrote sub on my thing because we were talking about something before this.
Sub.
Okay.
You want to be my sub?
You said sublimate something. Oh, what I was telling you is that, like, if somebody has a given issue, you have to be very careful when you talk. Even if solving that issue won't solve anything, you have to be very careful when you're talking past that issue, right? Like, if a guy is laying on the ground and his, like, knee just got snapped in half, and he's, like, crying there, and he's like, I need to go to the hospital, and you're like, you kneel down next to him, and you're like, listen, dude, just because you go to the hospital to fix your knee, that's not going to solve all your problems. The guy probably knows that, But that's not what he's thinking about right now, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
When you talk about money, you have to be very careful about saying things like, money's not going to solve your problems, because if you're really poor, you have a lot of problems that money will solve, right?
Sure.
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but that was a big problem I had with it. And then obviously these people didn't understand how like the existence of like legalizing sex work or decriminalizing sex work could also add some leeway to people who are using that for the wrong reasons with like sex trafficking. And they like just wouldn't look at it. And I was just like, how could you not look at this? Like they would not bite the bullet. They're like, yeah, like what I wanted them to do is just be like, yeah, some bad stuff is going to happen, but overall it's going to be like whatever. And they like wouldn't even go there, which sucked.
Okay. The sex trafficking probably isn't super relevant, is it?
It's extremely relevant. Maybe not in America as much.
Do you really believe that?
What do you mean?
Like, let's say that sex trafficking didn't exist at all if you legalized sex work. Would it substantially change your feelings about it?
Yeah. Because I also think that there are not harsh lines on sex trafficking because it's hard to say like who a victim is, right?
Let me without.
So like
no,
listen, Stephen. Because there are people who are like
just
sold.
Say my name to get my attention.
There are people who are like sold as like kids, like slavery, like chattel.
Yeah.
And then there are also people in like poverty-stricken communities that have no other choice.
We're not talking about this, okay? But I'm saying if we could wipe the board of all sex trafficking,
I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Why?
But what is sex trafficking? So are those people with pimps not being trafficked? Like, where's the line?
We'll say sex trafficking. We're gonna draw the line at So typically, when research is done and they look at countries where they've legalized sex trafficking, where they've legalized prostitution, normally like illegally like people shipped in and out for purposes of sex work, that increases. Sex trafficking increases. Not people that turn to it because of desperation over it.
On both things, we have data that it also decreases.
Oh, I haven't seen that. If that's true, maybe there's.
It's all of that data is like completely useless because every study says something different. Every study.
Oh my god, dude! Oh, I love the scientific anti-realism. Like everything can be anything. Like, dude,
well, it's hard to
so
prescribe
based.
anything from like the Nordic model to like America because it's so fucking different. That it's like
because there are
do we
more
even
white
bring
people
those up?
there, or what do you mean by that, Lav?
No, because our population's different. We have different societal norms. We have like we have more money. We have a different economy. Like that's obviously why it's different.
Oh, so nothing can work from one country to another.
It's hard to make a prescription. Sure.
Okay.
We can take ideas, but it's hard to make an exact prescription. You're smart enough to know that.
Yeah, I know that, but we can still compare other society. But we're backing away, okay?
But it's like apples to oranges. They're still fruit, but they're just different.
Yeah, you're very fruity. Okay, back away from the edge. Okay, back away. Okay.
Trans people.
No, we're not talking about trans people. Okay.
I'm just kidding.
You mentioned the sex trafficking thing. Okay. Is this something that you? Okay. You mentioned in terms of what counts as sex trafficking, and you brought up a topic. This is something that I've heard you fight with multiple times with people about. I'm going to ask you two questions, okay? Are you ready?
I'm going to answer them, yeah.
Should you be legally allowed to sell your kidney if the government would buy it for $500,000? Think about it. Think long and hard. Be very careful.
I think, yeah. I'm not moralizing the selling of body parts. I just think
whoa! You ran so far ahead. Slow down, track star.
Because I know where your argument's going.
I'm not a fucking moron. I don't need you to head off my arguments, okay? You don't know where my argument's going, okay?
Okay, yeah, I think that you should be able to sell parts of your body if you have informed consent and like actual informed consent. The problem is that you cannot give informed consent at the rate which sex work is happening right now.
Okay. Two different. You're dealing with a hypothetical, and then you're dealing with like real world pragmatic issues.
Yes, because I'm trying to relate it because you're taking me on this train.
I'm not taking you on anything. We haven't even gotten in the car yet, okay? And you're like trying to figure out like I think that he's gonna. Yeah, I'm trying to. Okay, I need to get the booster seat out of the trunk. Okay, chill. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go grab the booster seat, okay? So you're saying that poor people should be allowed to sell their organs, right? Can you stop doing the exorcist fucking movements over here? Jesus, are you okay?
Sorry. Yeah, they should be able to.
Okay.
It should not be easy, but yeah, they should be able to if they really want to.
Okay. Let's say that we have sweatshops in China, okay, people work in substandard conditions compared to our country. Less than minimum wage in our country, but they produce goods and services for us. If we eliminate those sweatshops, then they go from working in sweatshops to subsistence farming, where they're just horrible. Do you think that the existence of those sweatshops is immoral? Or do you think it's a neutral thing? It's okay, because it's better than what they were doing before?
I don't think it's ethical.
Okay.
I don't think it's ethical, but I think it's a better alternative. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I'm speaking German now.
That's great. Oh, so you do know other languages.
Russian. That's
cool.
Russian.
So you can talk to the future prison guards when Nick Fuentes gets really...
Yeah.
Okay. So we've driven around to these 2 theme parks. Okay. Now we're going to go to the last park for the day. Okay. Now I'm asking about the sex worker question. Why or why not should a poor person, assuming that they're informed about the possible upsides and downsides, should they be allowed to do something akin to OnlyFans?
So they can.
I'm not asking if they can. I'm saying, like, do you think it's moral? Do you think it's okay?
Sure. I think if the way that they're engaging in it, if it's I think if the way they're engaging with it is healthy and they're completely... I think the problem is education. I don't think the problem is sex work in itself. I think that we're just not having bigger conversations about stuff like this. But I think that sex work in itself is not immoral. No.
Okay.
I think it's natural. I think it's natural for us to like want to have sex with each other and watch each other and you know, do whatever. I just think that the culture around it is pretty toxic.
Okay. If this is all true, we're leaving the theme parks now. Okay.
If true.
Why not just, if true then, why not just focus on the pragmatic parts of sex work instead of the larger societal philosophical arguments I hear you make? Because I feel like I hear you sometimes say things akin to sex work is wrong because it makes women put themselves in positions where men are going to view them or treat them as objects, which leads to the further societal dehumanization of women. I hear sometimes this broader society, and you might not feel this way anymore, but this is just an argument I've heard you make. If you believe in that argument strongly, that's a far different argument than this like pragmatic, like a lot of people get into OnlyFans and they don't really have any idea like what they're getting into, right? Yeah.
Well, because I think I want to add my opinion in the way, like I still don't think that, like you said, is it moral? Like it's not my favorite option, right? Like, I don't think
we're not
there's
talking about
wrong
favorite or
with it.
anything. Obviously,
No,
the
but when
ideal
you
is
say,
everybody
like, I
goes
don't think
to
there's
college
anything
and
wrong
becomes a
with a
computer
poor
programmer.
person doing that, but I still don't think that they should do it. I wouldn't prescribe it to them.
Okay, I don't know.
I don't think that a body should be a product, but I think if the government necessitates or the economy necessitates that it needs to be because you can't make any other money, that's the problem.
Sure, but then our problem has nothing to do with sex work. Now it just has to do with like welfare or something.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, and I think that that's a conversation that that's in the conversation I'm making. That's in the point I'm making. There should be safety guards. There's no reason why at 18 I had to do this because I had no other options. And in a first world country, like I should have other options. UBI.
Okay.
I think that, you know, there should be better welfare programs.
I agree, but we're way past the topic.
I think my problems with sex work are my problems with capitalism, or my problems with patriarchy, or my problems with culture. It's all, I have the same problems with them.
I'm gonna gaslight you now. Okay, I don't believe you.
Okay.
I feel like there was a deeper, unless your position has changed, which it can, but it feels like you had a deeper contention with sex work, women being objectified, the male gaze, men learning to treat women as objects, that like it felt like, let's say we wave a magical wand and society is like perfectly even, anybody can do what they choose to do. It felt like even in that society you'd say, oh, I don't really think people should do sex work.
Oh, well, no, in that society there would be no reason not to do sex work.
You mean there wouldn't be a reason to do sex work? Or
I think in a society where women at the same rate were like abusing men in porn, I wouldn't have a problem with BDSM. Like I really, it has less to do with like this like moral outcry and more to do with like just the consequences of that on society.
Okay, so
This is why I advocate for abusing men during sex.
stop. Why? Are you an abusive person?
Maybe
Okay.
Max pegged me correctly.
Jesus.
Maybe he needs to peg me.
Are you okay? This camera is fucking wild. I need to story up. Hold on.
Chalky milk.
Yeah.
Chalky milk Soylent.
Yep. If I had a hot chocolate, I'd be drinking that instead, okay?
You're a freak. You're a baby. You eat like a toddler.
I would actually kill you if I had the opportunity to. If I ever see you in person, you will die in a video game.
If you have.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So, in a perfect society where everybody has equal money, men and women abuse each other at even rates, in this world, you have no care in the world about people doing sex worker porn.
No, that was hyperbolic. That was a joke. Obviously, I don't think people should hurt each other.
Well, no. I'm when I say equal rates, I don't mean that women have started abusing men at the rate that men's abuse women. I mean that hopefully men have abused women less, right?
We need to talk about the need. I think that we need to talk about like the need to want to hurt people in the same way that it's like.
Sure, don't care. Separate conversation topic. I'm just trying to figure out right now, in terms of don't throw a fucking temper tantrum because I don't want to talk about some peripheral topic.
Stomping my feet.
Okay, yeah, that's great. Now you're gonna be breaking your boyfriend's laptop next, and okay, don't worry, I've seen it all before. Okay.
Setting the house on fire. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like something you do, and you'd be like,
Riding
"Oh,
a
I
foot
couldn't help
longer.
myself. You know, my mom gaslit me, and now I lit the house on fire. Yeah, that's what I do."
Is that Jordan Peterson?
No, that was.
Am I Jordan Peterson?
Lave, whatever.
That's like
the
a
fuck
really
your
good
name
Jordan
is.
Peterson
Do you really think
impression.
so? Wow, are you a
Yeah.
big fan of his? Do you listen to a lot of his stuff?
I've never listened to any of his stuff.
Isn't he? Never mind. Okay. Hold on. Back up. In a society where wealth is perfectly evenly distributed.
I'm sorry. Yeah, continue.
You're fine. You okay?
Where the wealth is evenly distributed. Yeah.
You can take a nap if you want. We can revisit this.
I'm
in
not.
a couple
I'm just.
hours.
I just
if you
yawn.
need like a
I just
pacifier,
yawn.
a
I'm
little
sorry.
blanket in the
And you know
background,
what's kind of
maybe?
weird is that
Yeah.
you're not yawning watching me yawn, which means that you have low empathy levels.
Actually, my empathy levels are very high, but I just don't view women as
Interesting.
human, so I don't really. Yeah, no effect on me. Sorry. Women crying doesn't affect me either.
Wow, no yawn. You don't even feel a little bit of a yawn coming on.
No, actually, when you. No, never mind. That was too weird. Okay, listen. Stop.
Okay.
In a society that is perfectly equal, or relatively equal, is approaching high levels of equality, you're okay with sex work then. You don't have a fundamental problem with sex work.
Oh.
Okay.
Perpetuates some toxicness in like the patriarchy we live in.
Wait.
It's like a symptom of the patriarchy.
Okay, it looked like you said no, but your mic cut out. So do you or do you not, in a perfect society, have problems with sex work?
No.
No.
I don't have a
Okay.
problem with it in a perfect society. No.
Okay.
I
So
think
then-
that it just perpetuates the society that the injustice that we already live with.
Okay. Do you think that that's the main driver, or do you think that there are other things that are probably more worth it to focus on?
I think it's one of the main drivers for our youth.
Because I feel like haven't men been pretty abusive towards women through like all of human history, even before
Sure,
porn?
but now, yes, but I think like rough sex is happening at rates that like it's never happened before.
Okay, is there something wrong with rough sex?
There is something wrong with rough sex when you can use it as a defense as to like why you murdered your girlfriend, which 6 people have used in the UK in the past 5 years.
Okay, that's but now we're talking about a whole different legal thing, not a.
Okay, I'm just talking about like how culture, obviously with people.
Okay, but that's like saying
I know that you're
I think
30,
that rough sex is bad because what if you're fucking
I know
somebody
you're-
and you find out they have a heart
No,
condition and
Steven.
they have a heart attack and they die because you're so rough with them?
Steven,
Like, yeah, obviously
Steven,
that's bad.
No, I know that you're older. I know that you're older, and you don't understand how much like the internet like informs kids. But they're soaking up all this shit like a fucking
Look,
sponge.
I was talking to pedophiles on the internet before you were even born.
And
Okay,
okay,
you have
great.
no idea
Exactly.
what you're talking about.
And-
Okay, so calm
now
down.
Kids,
okay,
kids are watching porn for the first
Yeah.
time at 10. It's a problem,
yeah, sure.
and it's informing their life. It's a huge thing.
Okay,
Do
sure.
I think that it's the biggest problem we're facing? Probably not, but it's the one that I think I want to focus on because it affected my life pretty substantially.
Okay, that's fine. But when you make the focus of that because it personally affects you, you have to be really careful to like explain that, right? Otherwise, it feels like you're basically saying because I think an impression that people can get I'm so sorry. Was I interrupting your voice with my answer to your question, or?
You can. I'll give you permission.
Thank you so much, Queen. Thank you. Wow. Thank you for letting me finish. Okay. If I'm taking up too much time, just please let me know and I'll shut the fuck up.
I'm very.
Okay?
Yeah. I'm very.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you want, maybe we can move into a
goddess.
Discord server and you can have like the mute function and just completely shut my mic down if I'm
No,
just
it's
like,
okay.
Okay, gotcha. Just making sure. I don't want to like offend your.
But you just say thank you, benevolent goddess.
Thank you. Yeah, that's the phrase that I need to use.
Yeah,
Is that what your
it.
mom made you say to her
Yeah,
every time that
say
she
it.
told you?
Say it.
Yeah, if you tier 4 sub to me, I'll think about
Say
it.
it.
Okay. No, you're not gonna bully me into. You're being toxic right now. Okay. Anyway. Nah, you lost my place again.
Debate tactics. Disarm your enemy.
No, you're gaslighting and manipulating and girl bossing.
Sorry. I'm using my feminine wiles.
No, it's not feminine. It's autistic.
Should I show my legs more?
No. I thought the whole reason why you put the camera up. Good one, dude. Nice tattoo. All I see is that tattoo, and all I think of is after I kill you, you're never going to be fucking buried with your family in a video game, but I'd never kill you, okay? Just kidding. Okay. Hold on. Now I have to scroll up and remember where I was in the conversation. Okay. Perfect world. Oh, okay. When you present these ideas, when you're on stream and you argue with people, you come across as though this is like the most important like end of the world thing that has to be solved. That like if we cure,
I
like
hate that I do that. I don't know why or how I catastrophize. I really don't mean to.
Okay,
it was a huge part of my life.
Sure, I understand. Maybe clarify that more. Okay.
Okay. So just more caveats with like.
Here's the
like
problem.
this.
Here's the problem. Okay, you feel like the kind of person that, if I were to introduce you to a topic, you could have a
How do you know what I feel like?
I'm. What do you mean? Well, because see, you're a woman, okay, and I'm a fisherman, and when you're a fisherman, you have to learn how the fish swim. All right. But as a little swimming fish, you don't know anything about the fisherman. That's how I know everything about you. I can see I can see deeper into your brain than you've ever seen before. Okay.
Yeah.
If you're ever confused about anything, you can actually. As a man, that's right. I will tell you exactly what you're thinking at all points in time. Okay. What you're going to think. I can tell you what you're going to think at all points in time. To be honest. Okay. Okay.
As you were.
Yeah. It feels like sometimes you take really strong positions on things and then you like scream at people and then you act smug about it. But then you later on say like, oh, I don't feel that strongly about it. And I think that's where a lot of the discord comes from. Just a feeling I have. Okay.
You're right. I think I'm hot to trot.
Yeah, that's an expression that I think they used like 20 years before I was born.
I think I'm pretty hot-headed. I'm very reactionary. I guess I have a big reaction about things that I might not care about that much because I think it's a little funny. I play it up a little bit. Maybe I shouldn't play it up. Maybe
not. Or find like different fights to play it up in to where you're not like giving the impression that you're ultra strong or combative on positions that you aren't ultra strong or combative on, right?
Sure, but I guess that's true. I just God, I don't never mind, I won't say it.
But now you kind of have to say it.
Well, I just don't want to be boring. I've watched certain streamers that are like very nuanced and like I agree with everything that they're saying, but their delivery is like so not fun to watch.
Sure, but there's like a line you can trot where you can be entertaining. You just have to find like what you're trying to do is you're trying to push people's buttons, but the problem is you're pushing every single fucking button instead of just finding a few good ones to lean into really hard.
I'm kind of a brat. It's like my thing.
Okay, bratty doesn't work for debate style. Okay.
Well, I don't want to debate. I want to have conversations like this.
I understand, but it works in a
one-on-one. I want to debate also.
Sure, it works. I
think I did okay in the last one, in the modern day debate. I wasn't snippy or anything.
A little bit. Our conversation works okay because I'm willing to be ultra charitable to you, right? I'm making a really big effort to understand what you're saying. But if somebody gets more combative, okay, you don't look bratty. You just come off as a cunt. Is the issue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm doing better. I think like last month when I was just entering, I was a lot worse. I think I've learned a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you're moving in a good direction for sure.
Yeah, I'm a quick learner, I think.
I don't know if I'd say that, but
I'm teachable.
Yeah, teachable, coachable, I think is the word.
I'm coachable. Yeah, I think I'm coachable. Yeah. I think overall, yeah, if I'm known as the like mouthy transphobe, That's who I am right now. Maybe I'll be something else in the future. Maybe I'll be like alt-right darling in the future.
Is that what you
want? Maybe
want?
I'll be. No, I was thinking of starting a little grift. I think that'd be funny.
To pretend to be alt-right?
Yeah. I think it'd be funny. Give me your full attention now, Steven.
Sorry, sometimes your mom texts me when I'm talking to her. It's really fucking awkward. I had to tell her to stop. She's like sending me pics and shit, and I'm like, dude, you kind of look like your daughter. It's really fucking weird. But I blocked her number now. So
hilarious.
It's a back and forth thing we call.
Oh my god, Reddit humor, Reddit millennial humor.
Yeah, is that what
Do
you
you have
call it?
anything else in the arsenal other than your mom? Not a thing.
Just your mom. You know?
That brain is empty. That brain is empty.
Nope.
Too much information.
Yeah, no.
All work, no play. Not
True.
enough room
There's
for
nothing
jokes.
left. Your mom literally fucked my brains out last night, so there's nothing left in here to come back with. Except,
Jesus
you know.
Christ.
Anyway,
thanks for asking Max about
You're on ban? Oh, you're on probation. Yeah.
Yeah, ew. The way that he was saying that, like, with good behavior, what is his deal? I want to kill him. Get him in
is
here
Max
right
like
now.
the father figure you think that you're looking for in life? Is that?
No, I don't want a fucking father. I have a father figure. I don't need... Max is like a colleague to me, but he's still trying to, like, exert this, like, that he's, like, above me in some way, and it's fucking weird.
Well, he kind of is right now, right? Well, because you're the chaser and he's the chasee, so in a way,
I don't want to.
He kind of owns
it's
you
the
right
principle
now.
that I just don't want to be like. I don't want to be banned. Like, why ban me from it? Like,
why are you bothered that you're banned though?
I don't know. I'm also mad that he like. There's all these like weird people that are like compiling evidence against me that I'm like, whatever. And he gave it like merit, and he was like, yeah, if you make a documentary or like a video about all the bad things she's done, I'll go over it with her on stream. And then he messaged me about it, and I was like, what is this, torture porn? Like, you want me to react to all the bad things you find about me? Are you that fucking bored in your life?
Did somebody actually make a
Yes, and he literally encouraged it. He encouraged people to fucking surveil me.
Did he?
Yes.
That's kind of weird.
It's super fucking weird, and it's so, like, anti his whole, like, message. Dude, he's more wishy-washy than I am.
Is he, though? Are you sure about that?
Yes! He doesn't have fucking attachment to his values either. This is what having a bad relationship with your mom does to a person. It makes you like me and Max. This is why we need more mothers in the home.
True. Wait, can somebody just real quick on the side, somebody link me this Slav hit piece? I want to watch this sometime.
It doesn't exist because I messaged him about it and I was like, LOL, and he was like, fine, I'll drop it if you want me to. And I was like, why were you even giving this attention?
Okay, well, for the guy that was going to work on it, I'll watch it on stream if you make it, okay? Sounds like a good time.
Oh my god,
okay?
don't say
That's
that, dude.
want. Yeah?
It's so fucking stupid. It's like just edgy jokes that I've made.
What kind of edgy jokes? N-word jokes?
No, I've never done that.
F-word jokes?
Ever. I've never even thought of the N-word.
Really? What are you thinking right now?
Nothing. Brain empty.
Okay.
Have you read Eckhart Tolle? That's the way to be.
Who's that?
Head empty mode. The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle.
Nope.
You should read that. You need it.
Okay.
But it's so. Have you heard of this thing? It's like a website where you put in like a photo of yourself, and then you get like rated on like how friendly you look, how attractive you look, and how kind or how smart you look or something.
Yeah, it's called OnlyFans, right?
No, you get like rated like an actual scale.
Okay.
I forget what the fucking website's called.
Just based on the picture?
Yeah.
Okay.
And people can rate you on certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And I had posted again. I had forgotten that this had happened. I told you about the drama before that I had posted a photo of myself when I was like 14 because it was funny.
I don't remember hearing about this.
Some of my friends in the server
Uh-huh.
took the photo of when I was 14 and put it up on that site to see what people like thought about
Okay.
with me. And I was encouraging it because I thought it was funny.
Okay.
And they're trying to say that that's again like me being a pedophile when I wasn't even the one who fucking did it. But it was still like it was just kind of, it was like a little funny 15 minutes thing. It wasn't like we were all bored in a Discord VC. Like it wasn't. I fucking hate being online. I hate it here.
Yeah, do you? I mean, you're the one that's trying to stake out.
I hate when people are like attach themselves to these like stupid fucking things. People are like looking for a reason to fucking hate me constantly. That's what I hate about it. You know everything about that.
Yeah, but I'm above it all because I'm internally driven, not externally driven. But that's just one of the benefits that comes with being 33 years old. So.
And a man.
No, just mainly 33. It's mainly just the age. No.
And a man. You have a completely different experience to me because you don't have to perform.
I perform all the time.
Not in the ways that I do. I have to be sexy, young, smart, funny.
Well, you're like one out of 5 of those things. So yeah, the aggressive part. Good, you hit on the end. Okay. You're like a chihuahua with makeup. Okay.
I have to be all these different things, and you only have to be like smart.
Do you ever think that by acting like, oh, you think I'm smart? Thank you. Do you ever think that by acting like all of those things that you're also like reinforcing or perpetuating stereotypes?
Acting like what?
Like having makeup and trying to be pretty, and for some reason not owning a single pair of pants or anything. Why not just like try to be normal on stream once?
I am very normal on stream. You haven't watched my streams. I'm very normal.
You don't know that.
I'm very normal on streams.
Do you wear pants?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
If I go and look up your last VOD, I'm not going to see a single knee on the entire stream.
Oh God, my knees, come on.
I'm sorry, I'm a man. When we say pants, I mean things that cover like your at least 60% of your leg.
I wear pants sometimes.
Okay. Be the change you want to see in the world, okay?
Right. I've gotten on cam without makeup a bunch of times.
Do it more.
Ew, don't fucking tell me what to do. You're
sorry.
so fucking annoying.
I'm not. Yeah, I am. Yeah, but
did I fempill you? Are you a feminist?
No, just people.
Did you defempill me? I'm not sure what happened in this conversation.
Nothing. I'm just trying to. I don't know. I was just saying where we were going with this.
Yeah, I guess we learned that my takes are more nuanced. I don't know. How do you explain to a bunch of men that the porn that they're watching could be negatively affecting them in a way that they don't even understand?
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna sit up for this one. It's time for the tough love part. Are you ready, Lave?
Lave?
Yeah. Okay, ready?
Is that my new name?
Yep. Or I can call you Miss Brown Eyes, if that's what you want. Okay.
I will kill you.
Okay, ready? Okay. I don't know what the fuck you believe, Lave, because sometimes when you answer questions, it makes it seem like you have a totally different set of beliefs working, or it feels like sometimes you're fluidly switching between different sets of beliefs based on what the argument is. So, given everything you've told me, if somebody asks the question of why shouldn't men work or look at porn, or what does porn do to men? Was that kind of like the question? Why is it bad?
Just to be conscious while you're watching porn.
You phrase it as a question, right? Like, or are you just saying people should be conscious while they watch porn? I'm usually conscious. I don't watch porn.
How do you get someone to consider that porn, that the way that they're engaging in porn may be dehumanizing, or maybe perpetuating some toxic behavior in your relationships?
Okay, the problem is honest to God, it's probably impossible. Because the issue is that...
No, this is a great talk.
The problem is that if you go to the Midwest, or if you go to a place that's like 95% white people, and you ask them to explain black people, or how they think black people act in real life, the answers that they're going to give you are going to be black people that they've seen in movies and TV shows, because that's about all the exposure they have. Now, you can tell them, don't stereotype black people, don't pretend that they're all the same way or whatever, and people, well-meaning good people, might even say that. It's like, okay, yeah, sure, I'm not going to, but still, the image that comes to mind when they think of a black person is going to be, if they've never seen one in real life, it's going to be whatever they see in movie and TV. The problem with pornography is a lot of people engage with porn that have very little to no sexual experience in real life. So you can tell these people all day, like, hey, when you engage in porn, women don't always act this way. You can't fuck somebody immediately. You need some kind of lubricant. People aren't screaming and hitting each other and having fun and blah, blah, blah. Women don't come in 2 seconds. When you flick their tongue at them for 1 second, people don't orgasm, blah, like this, blah, 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 blah. There's a million things that you can talk about. But the problem is that if a person is a virgin, has very, very, very low sexual activity, that's going to be the only template that they have for what a sexual experience looks like. So it's in a way...
So I think I'm going to pivot. This is what I think that I am going to pivot and be less outspoken about sex work and more outspoken about like education and sex.
Sure. Or something you said earlier that was akin to the OnlyFans thing could be something that you could advocate for the porn thing. So for instance, what you could say is, one of the big problems with OnlyFans isn't that it's sex work, and it's not that it's dehumanizing or objectifying. The problem is that people on OnlyFans engage in a lot of performative work that is giving people a misleading impression of what bodies or sex or orgasms or whatever actually like. That could be a statement that you make on OnlyFans. You could also make that same statement about porn. Now, when we watch porn, I've got like BDSM, I've got crazy fetish stuff, I've got peeing, I've got all this stuff. There's a lot of stuff that's fetish, or I could just watch normal porn. But the problem is that normal porn, it kind of sounds like that's what sex is normally like, but it's not anyway either, right? Like even normal porn is pretty far outside the norm of what a normal sexual experience looks like. And the problem is that when people are watching and consuming a lot of porn, even stuff outside of the hardcore categories, even outside of like the fetish categories, whether they know it or not, they're engaging in the crafting of this template for what a sexual relationship looks like, because normal porn is so far off of what normal sexual relationships look like. When they finally do engage in sexual relationships, they're going to be trying to slide into that groove of what the porn they've watched was, rather than referring back to anything else because they have no point of reference. So bring it all back. That advocation that you made before of like sex work on OnlyFans should resemble more kind of like natural sex stuff. You could make the same advocacy for porn. Porn should look kind of like more normal sexual experiences rather than like the hyperbolized stuff that you see in pornographic stuff.
I think a big problem is that who like owns porn, like who owns browsers, who owns like tiny 4K teens. Like I think that there should be way more like female-led porn production companies that show more bodies, show hairier bodies, show like, just more stuff, more sex ed. I believe that like I believe in like comprehensive based sex ed. Like
you can say stuff like that, but this is that ends with something I've heard you
also
say earlier. I feel like I heard you say earlier that like even when women are the ones doing porn, it's still not okay. I feel like I've heard you make that argument before. Now maybe you don't believe it anymore, but I've heard that before. People will often say, well, it's empowering, and you go, it's not empowering, it's still dehumanizing.
It's still in a man-dominated world. So like obviously the owner of OnlyFans is still like a fucking man.
Wait, say that again. Sorry.
The owner of OnlyFans is still like a man, and it's still like a male-dominated. Like Pornhub is owned by men.
Yeah, but like let's say that OnlyFans was owned and ran by women. Would that all of a sudden completely flip your opinion on it?
Flip my opinion, but it would seem a little more permissible. It would seem, I don't know.
I don't think it would affect your opinion much. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it would actually, but I know that porn production companies, we know that a lot of like porn actresses have spoken out about how the production companies were like extremely it should be female led and also just more ethical in general. Sure. I guess it can be ethical and ran by a man, but
we could. So I think instead of talking about ran by men or women, I think this is something where we can legitimately make an argument for. I'm gonna use the D word here. It triggers a lot of people. We can make an argument for diversity, because when you have a more diverse group of people working on something, oftentimes you're gonna get more points of view where there might be things covered by other people that you wouldn't even personally think to cover yourself. Like if you're a man, you might not know why it matters. Like if you, there's just things that you won't know. Like having like a trash can in the bathroom, or are you one of those disgusting people that flushes your tampons?
I don't wear tampons. I free bleed.
Yeah. That's why you wear red today. That's cute. Nice. I approve. But there might be like a lot of random things that like you won't catch if you're like a man and you're setting up something, or if you're going through a scene or whatever, as opposed to having more women on set working that will like be more concerned with things that are going on, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I follow this TikTok account that like shows the backstage about how they have like little like powwows before the scene. Like, what are your boundaries? What do you not want to do? It's totally okay for you to say no at any point. Like, and it's woman led, and that feels like really good to me. But it's like it's hard to want to watch those things when like your brain is like still on like a rape, torture, dungeon porn. Like you don't care that shit like this is happening. So I just feel like to some degree we can add and also take away some of that stuff, I think.
Sure, to bring it more in line with like normal, healthy sexual interactions, right? Sure.
Yeah.
Do you know who Kai Clips is?
Yeah.
He's screaming because he wants in here. Do you want to allow him to join this conversation?
He's like the Mormon boy, right?
Close enough, yeah. I think he's young too.
Yeah. Yeah. What does he want to talk about?
I don't know. My whole chat is spamming it, and my mod RTBA, who's like, who hates you, is spamming it. I think he just wants you to speak less, and a man in here makes him feel better.
Okay.
Do you want him to join, or do you want to finish this conversation and he can come in, or do you not? It's up to you.
I think
it's your convo.
No, let's talk with Kai. He's a cutie.
Kai Clips, join General Lobby, and I'll give you perms to hop on up.
He's he's gonna try to make me Mormon again.
Cringe. Can you even do that if you're Jewish?
Yeah.
Do you really free bleed?
I do really free bleed.
Do you have like a special pair?
I advocate it for everyone. Thinks underwear is really great for free bleeding, but a lot of the time I just do it on like my towel, my period towel.
What about like when you're going out for the day?
Diva cup.
Okay.
Or Thinks. Yeah.
Or what? What was the last thing?
Thinks. It's like Thinks period panties.
Is
Tampons
it like a
are
panty liner or?
No, it's like really absorbent underwear. But I try not to. Yeah, I think if you're a girl and you're watching this, think about Thinks. They're a little bit expensive, but it feels that your cramps end up so much worse if you're like wearing a tampon or there's like risk for toxic shock.
What?
Yes, there's evidence showing.
No, wait, toxic shock?
Yeah. You have the highest risk of ever getting toxic shock syndrome through wearing a tampon.
TSS is like if you leave it in for a week and you no shot.
A lot of women do.
Well,
And
don't do that.
You can get it in 24 hours.
Don't leave the same tampon in for 24 hours.
Every woman forgets. Every woman forgets.
Gross.
And also, they hurt. They hurt if your flow is not like super heavy. I don't have like a super heavy flow.
Just
so if
wear
I put it in, I put it in dry. It's coming out dry. Sometimes it fucking hurts.
Yeah, it seems like you're. Use a pad.
Pads smell.
And you don't think you do?
A period just shouldn't smell like a lot, but
I
it
can
definitely
smell periods
smells.
on people. I bet if when you're in public, if
Sure.
everybody's looking at you and they're like, "That woman is menstruating right now." Every eye is
hope
on you.
so.
Every
It's
man
very beautiful
is looking.
and sexy to
It's
me.
not
Very
beautiful.
powerful.
It's the opposite of beautiful because your body's designed to breed. And when
Oh
you're
my God.
menstruating, that's your body punishing you for not being pregnant. Did you know that? It's God's way of telling
that's
you
true.
fucked up.
That's true. No, but I think that pads, because of the paper and the cotton, it just like holds on to smell in a different way than like a towel does, and also you're like sitting it and it gets like sweaty and yeah, not the best.
Jesus Christ.
Hello. Oh my God.
Kill you.
Bro, what are you doing?